Heyo, how's it going? It's time for some Splatoon stream. Welcome back. I have a little bit of news, but I might as well click the button first. Whoa! Holy! I'm so sorry about that. Wow, that's crazy. Elgato, the most fickle mistress of them all, was working 20 seconds ago when I hit start stream, and it gave up since. Oh, that's so frustrating. That's gonna take a while to troubleshoot. Alright, here, we're back to the... You know what? Sure, we'll just go to this screen again. Fine. I have to, like, troubleshoot for a little bit. That's great. I'm actually afraid. I might have to end the stream. Immediately. I've never had this issue fix itself without me having to, like, close out of OBS. God, that's so dumb. Elgato earning its name of Elgarbo. It earns it. Alright, it should be working now. So, let's hope you don't have to hear the loud sounds again. Here we go. Ta-da. You know what? That's a great thing. It's time for me to rant a little bit about the Elgato. But first, let me lower the music. Every once in a while, Elgato will do this. Why is it so zoomed in? What is this? Why is this here? Give me just 1 second. I have to, like... I thought I had this prepared. I guess I didn't. That's better. Alright, every once in a while, the Elgato will do this incredible thing where it'll stop counting as the source of the Elgato device, and it'll instead create a new source for the Elgato device called Elgato Device 2. And you just have to, like, know it does this. Otherwise, you'll just be there wondering why your screen is blank. Also, it looks like a doll, not a human squid. It's a freak is what it is. It's also me. Hello there. I'm in the spot right now. Welcome to the realm. How did I get up here? We're gonna play some Salmon Run, because it's my comfort food. And it'll let me tell you about some things. Today I was questioning if Yudu can become good. Oh, as of right now, I say he can, but it's harder than beating Pokemon Red with just a Magikarp that isn't even allowed to use Struggle at level 1? I could see how that might be a writing pitfall. A difficult one to get through. The volume's way too loud already. Wow, I thought I had everything ready. The Elgato messing up the way it did really, like, put a fork in my plans, but forget about that. That's not important. I have good news. It took me like, oh god, chair noise. It took me like a good month of talking about it, saying I was gonna do it, and it's finally done. I finally posted that, that massive video on the Splatoon channel about paint output. And I do mean massive. It was supposed to be like an hour at most, that ended up being 3. End product. I know, I was very surprised. Didn't expect that. But it's done. We've officially got the Splatoon channel off to a start. And I am very happy about it. Wow, he was just perfectly lasering me. No, he was targeting someone else. Alright. But talking about Splatoon so much for that video made me really want to play it. So here we are. Splatting the Oon. The Splat Raccoon. They have a channel for that guy. He's called Trash Panda. The Splatoon Raccoon. He's real. He can hurt you. But before I get into talking too much about nothing, which is my tendency, what I do. I love doing that. Let's talk about the weapon comp, because this is a really weird one. And it just kind of dawned on me that I forgot to turn on my bind. I need a bind for this comp. I've got, like, hella arthritis, you know? That was terrifying. And there's a weapon in this game that requires mashing. We're not going to win this, are we? Wow, we did it. We clutched up. I'm surprised. But the squeezer is in this comp, and the squeezer is, in my opinion, like one of the worst weapons in Salmon Run. It just doesn't really do anything. Like, none of its modes are particularly high DPS. Even the one where you mash. Although to mash whatsoever with this gun, not the one I'm holding, but the squeezer, I'll have to, like, hit L and R rhythmically, which will result in some funny camera turns. It'll be good. But the squeezer isn't the only bad thing about this comp. In fact, it might be the only bad thing about the comp itself. But the worst thing is we're here on Spawning Grounds. Spawning Grounds is the worst map in all of Salmon Run. It's the worst one. Hands down. It's not even a contest. Okay, maybe it's a bit of a contest. The other ones, there are a couple pretty bad maps. I won't lie. But this one's the worst. For a whole bunch of reasons. Everyone contributed to that missile, man. It's beautiful. Oh, things are getting a little hellish. Oh, he can do that? Who taught you to do that? He walked off the elevation. Oh, thank God. Somebody saved my life. We're good. So as you can already tell, this map is very claustrophobic. It features grates, which you can't ink, obviously. So that's really frustrating for movement. There's a lot of, like, fringe corners of the map, too, that you have to, like, go out of your way to reach and do anything about, which is really cool, because there's global special guys that are hanging out here. We're 2 away. We can do this. Yeah, beautiful. It's going good. So that's the bad. The bad is Spawning Grounds and Squeezer, but the good is actually, like, quite good. Wellstring is top tier in Salmon Run. It's real good. Blaster is also ridiculously good in this one. Especially the ones with, like, faster fire rates, and this one's one of them. And then you have Brella, which is also a top tier. So this is it's a pretty good rotation outside of the map and the squeezer. You take the bad with the good for this one. Did he die? He did. Oh, they're behind me! I gotta bring him back up. He's fine. Is that Oscar? It's Oscar. Wonderful. You know, it's kind of weird that most of the stuff I'm going to be posting to the Splatoon channel is not about Salmon Run, and yet the thing I've streamed the most, I think period, might be Salmon Run. Actually, no, I think Xenoblade X might have that. We did what, like 8 Xenoblade X streams? That was a lot of Xenoblade X. But Salmon Run is close behind it. We do a lot of salmon running. We run a whole hell of a lot of salmon. See how they run? Oh, that was not the intent. And we're gonna keep running salmon too. It's just such an easy mainstay. It gives me something to do and something to talk about without really having to think. Which is a nice thing to have on the back burner. And it's a game I obviously like really enjoy playing. I find it very fun just to move around in this game. Every time. Always. How's it going? We did it. Here's a wave breaker. Good job, Bloop. Yeah, he's spinning. I love this guy. We're gonna go together. You and me, Bloop. Let's get out of here. So it's not all bad. It's just not a particularly horrible rotation. One of the videos that I'm working on for that Splatoon channel is a solo queue Salmon run tier list, because that's something that, like, hasn't been done before on the platform, for whatever reason. I guess most of the people that play a lot of Salmon run do it with friends. I don't hate doing solo queue in this. It's not quite as bad as doing, like, Tricolor Turf War, where your teammates don't get the memo so hard that it becomes a detriment to you. Granted, there will be times when your teammates just don't get the memo. That's just the nature of solo queue Splatoon. But I'll take that. Did I leave Bloop? Oh, I wanted to stay with Bloop. Bloop was funny. I'm breaking my creed. Stick with the funny characters. Alright, that's better. I could have not muted the mic and you would have heard my impression of an elephant. But I had to blow my nose, so... I can speak again. I'm no longer struggling. One thing that I've, like, noticed that kind of drives me insane... I mow a lawn every once in a while. It's gotta get done, and... better me than someone we're paying like $100 to do it. Uh-oh. Low flies. We have a Brella. This could be doable if the Brella's on. I don't think the Brella's on. I don't think he's on at all. Oh, it's not looking good. The Brella's hanging out on the wall. Alright. Anyways, I mow a lawn every once in a while. It's just something that needs doing. And... I can't stream on a day that I've mowed the lawn. Oh god! Oh, this is one of those moments where someone missed the memo. The Brella can, like, win this wave for free if he's just standing here. And he's standing there instead. Oh, lordy, we're gonna lose this. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, we're definitely gonna lose this wave. I'd say, and immediately everyone's dead. What about my bomb? Why did it take so long? Oh, they were carrying it. That's great. I don't think we have this. But whatever. Back to the stories. When I mow a lawn, I cannot stream on that day. I literally can't. Because every 5 words that come out of my mouth, my nose is, like, overflowing again. Every single time. It's abysmal. It's dismal. It's a bunch of other words that mean similar things. Where are the eggs? Oh no, did the carriers take them all away? Throw it, just throw it, just throw it, yeah! We did it. That was unbelievably close. I'm surprised we're still here. Anyways, I guess it's good that I don't stream every day, because then I can, like, comfortably take a day off. I forgot to turn on the bind again! Now I have to, like, mash really hard if I want to be useful. Oh, that's gonna be bad. I'm just gonna hold the trigger. It does, like, hit a full damage when you're holding the trigger with the squeezer. But it's my best bet if I want to, like, you know, be able to play this game for a couple hours today. So, as is customary for a Mumph Splatoon stream... Dude, you're not seriously blocking my shots right now. Thank you, Brella. This Brella... Oh god, it's not the same Brella, is it? I don't know what to believe anymore. What was I getting at? As is customary for a Mumph Splatoon stream... I'm dead. That's customary. As is customary, we're doing 2 rotations. I like to time these so that I get to do 2 rotations and go... Oh! I thought it was painted. I like to time it so we get 2 rotations and don't just get locked to one that's a bit of a struggle. I prefer it this way. I get you. You just gotta get out of there. He actually got me killed. He was taking so long. You know what? No, I'm blaming other people. That was me. I made a bad decision and I died for it. And now I'm in a bad position, I'm gonna die for it. Oh my god, the double rain. We will live. The power of gaming. Oh man, this group, it's so close every single round with these guys. It's actually like scaring me a little bit. But it's fine. So, in terms of Salmon Run, the next rotation is on a better map. The rotation itself is not as good. But I'll take that if it just means I don't have to play on spawning grounds, which I'm not a fan of, as we discussed. But the rotation after that one? Wow, that worked. The rotation after the next one is fully random with Triumvirate. And it's gonna make me sad if I don't stream it, so I might just do it anyways. Might. That would be 2 Splatoon streams in a row. Which, you don't have to tell me, not the most appealing to most people, considering how insular this game and its community is. Is the snake coming for me? That he is. That he is indeed. Did I get someone killed with my snake? I'm gonna die. We made it. But I would love to stream that Triumvirate run. I might still do it. Oh god. But I've got to finish Kirby and the Amazing Mirror soon. I've got to get back onto Risk of Rain. And I've got another game that I want to play. Also as well. Just one egg. Just one egg. We did it. By the skin of our teeth, this team provides. Splatoon 1. The Ben 10 villain variant of your character. It's still on that. You could get a whole notebook full of different numbered Ben 10 villain concepts. You could do that. Some of those are real bangers. Kevin 11 really sparked a fire in us. You could have, like, the evil Ben. It's Ken 10. He's got, like, the evil Omnitrix. You can do a lot with this dumb little idea. That should be the next spin-off series. Evil Ben is Albedo. They already got one and they named him Albedo? Really? Albedo? Why? What does it mean? We're gonna find out together. It's an expression of the ability of surfaces to reflect sunlight. Huh. Huh, okay. No, I guess, yeah, sure. Knock yourself out. Name things after concept. That's fine. You know gray matter? I do not. I mean, unless you're talking about, like, the gray matter that is currently within my head. I do know that much. Dude, shut up. We know. I'm sorry. Every single time someone does it this way, multiple times, when it's obvious what we're doing, I get, like, a little flustered. That kind of bothered me. You know the creator of the Omnitrix? That's called gray matter? I don't know that. I told you, it's been like 15 years since I've looked at anything Ben 10 related. I don't entirely know that I'm willing to change that. Like I mentioned, I'm pretty picky when it comes to the garbage I consume. It's gotta be the right kind of garbage for me, you know? Nope, gray matter is an alien species. Oh, okay. See, that makes sense. Although it is kind of a dumb name for an alien species, now that I think about it. Oh! You can do it, Toast. Walk towards the bomb, or just don't. Okay, thank you, Toast. Okay, that was just delayed. Don't do it! He was gonna ruin my chances. Yeah, when it comes to, like, the children's media I consume, I have to be very, very picky. Because it's always been very... Oh god. It's always been very easy for creators of children's content to, like... What's the opposite of putting your best foot forward? Whatever Dan Schneider's doing. It's very easy for, children's media creators to do that kind of shit. But you can't just discount the medium on the whole, because like we talked about last stream, Avatar: The Last Airbender exists. It's kind of tough to know whether a show will be like, especially now that I'm like a grown-ass man, whether it'll be like worth watching at my current age. Which I still haven't discovered. I don't know. I don't remember if I'm 28 or 27. I've forgotten, and I have no drive to remember. In short, the assistant of the creator of the Omnitrix stole a WIP? A work in progress. Okay. Whoa! A work in progress Omnitrix and became Ben because of a glitch! Sorry. I stopped playing the game because that, like... What a concept. Moonbug. That's a good name. Oh, guess who still forgot to turn on the bind? I swear I'm gonna remember to do that after this. I swear it. No, that's canon, though. God, that's so dumb. See, like... Oh, no! No! That went horribly. All my options removed in the blink of an eye. Now it's up to the Brella. And Toast. Come on, Toast, you can do it. It's all you, Toast. Toast, turn around. We're all right in here. Okay. At least I get to go turn on my bind now. See, like... I'm probably a bit of a weirdo for this. But because I care so much about, like, world building... and character design and the way it all intertwines... When something really dumb is canon to something, and they bring it up regularly, I have such a difficult time. I guess coping with that is the word. Just like, man, we really had a good thing going, huh? And then they canonized... Oh. Oh god, look what they did. Ew. They changed the menu. It's all different now. Ignore these, they're both... Okay, this one's pretty good, but this one was horrible. I downloaded it because I thought I played it as a kid, and I did. And boy was it bad then. It's even worse now. Or maybe I just, like, know what I'm doing more so now. I'm not going to photos right now, that's not what we're doing. This. Ta-da. Yeah, we'll use the brush bind for this. See, now I can do, like, this. Without hurting myself. But as you can see, I kind of, like, shake back and forth when I input it. It's just kind of the way it works for me. Poor guy. He got left hanging on his booyah. No mercy. No pity. It is so nice to play the Salmon run, because I really don't have to think about the game at all. Like, it's really good for that. Despite not being, like... I don't actually know how far we are in terms of, EVP rank on this map. If I had to guess, I'd say 200, but I don't know that for a fact. We might even be, like, down in the bottom. It's possible. We're still EVP. That much I can say for certain. Oh no, it's bad. We gotta get out of here. Oh, he's changing targets! But when it comes to Splatoon, that first video, even if it took, like, way too long between, like, scripting the script part and actually putting the whole thing together, at the very least it did one thing. It proved to me that I could do this stuff like, in a relatively timely manner. The reason it took so long is because I just wasn't willing to work on it. I had other priorities. I needed to, like, focus up, you know? But I got a whole hell of a lot more Splatoon things to make. Because it's important to me that someone does the things, and it might as well be me. I'm looking forward to it. The unfortunate thing is, like, if you know me, you know that I don't have much experience in the ranked mode. Most of my experience is Salmon Run and one hell of a lot of Turf War. And I do mean that, like, I've got 1,600 hours in this game, and I still haven't really touched the ranked modes too much, other than, like, dipping my toe in and realizing that, like, wow, the game is so much better in this mode. I decided I was gonna save it for a couple videos where I'd record the whole thing. Figured that might be fun. But we're gonna do it. But there's other scripts that need making for Splatoon. And some that need making that aren't Splatoon related. I've been saving up a long ramble about the music in the Pokemon games. And it needs to be put to paper. Put to form. It must exist. Oh, you know what? There's a topic that's like, just the other day, that popped up that is like immensely fucked up, and I must share. I must share. I must. So, I know we're not supposed to talk about politics on any Twitch channel ever. You don't do that. And I'm not gonna do a lot of the specific things, but I will tell you one thing that is like immensely fucked up. So, my mother's a pharmacist. He's retirement age right now. He's like, worked her whole life as a pharmacist for the government. And something you might not know about government workers is that they get paid pretty strictly less. And to make up for that, there's this thing called a pension fund, where, it's basically like help for a retirement plan for government workers, and that pension fund is kind of the only thing that balances out doing government work instead of doing just normal work. And right now, there is a massive crowd that is behind decreasing the number that the pension provides by like a good 40%. Because I don't think people understand that government workers, they do just get paid less, and that's what the pension is there to make up for. Oh, he's going for him. I think they just hear that government workers get pension, and they get a good amount of money from it, so they must be taken down to our level to normalize it. When that's just, like, not the case. Not a very accurate representation of what's going on. But why am I, like, getting into this? My mother is retirement age, yes, but she wanted to work for a couple more years. But now that the pension thing seems to be going through, despite like the House and the Senate seeming to realize that no, this isn't a good idea, it seems to be going through anyways for mysterious reasons. Which is the, oh god. Is it the what? Kind of the expectation for the next couple of years in America. I think I won't be able to stay today. Hey, no worries, man. It's always good to see you here. Appreciate it. Oh! Mid-air missile. R.I.P. So anyways, my mother was basically forced to retire. Like, either that or you lose 40% of all the money that's been going to your retirement. So that's really cool. And it just makes me think that, like, our government is getting... not more stingy per se. They are, of course, getting a little more stingy. But they're trying to make less people want to work in the government, so an even smaller number of people have the power, which is scary. That's it. That's the bottom line. I'm scared. Welcome to the realm. I needed to ramble about that. I needed to take what was on the inside and put it on the outside. It's just kind of what we do here. Especially when we're like so relaxed, like playing Salmon Run. We don't have to think. We can speak. Spook. We are spooked, but we can speak. We live in such a scary world, but enough about that. I talk way too often about the world around us and how it's like kind of falling apart at the seams. And I imagine that's not the most fun thing to hear on the reg. Let's talk about Splatoon. Oh, I love Splatoon. Splatoon's so cool. I think I'll see you around. Hey, take it easy, man. Be well. Stop it. I know it's this way. You don't have to tell me. Just doing some fun paint. Oh. The match has been going for 10 seconds, dude. What do you mean everyone's dead? Alright, I'm bringing this shark home. Come on home, shark. Beautiful. Oh, someone's gotta take out that stinger. This is already not looking so hot. He's dead again. You know what, sure. Please stop perishing every time we bring you back. I'm begging you, man. Alright, I have a bunch of Splatoon videos in the works, and now that I know I can do it, I'm gonna do it. And there is one thing that's kind of worth saying. I wanted to put that video out before doing today's stream, because I'm not always streaming Splatoon. I figured it'd be nice to, like, immediately after doing a Splatoon video, to do a Splatoon stream. I figured that'd be a good thing. I don't know if I'll make that a tradition or anything, but... I do know one thing. Because I wanted to get that video out before this stream. It was like 1 AM last night. Stop dying. Please, guys, please. Try to tell a story. It was like 1 AM, yeah? Oh. And I kind of had the option, like... I could stay up a little later tonight and finish this, or I could go to sleep and like be in a crunch in the morning to do it before streaming today. And because we want to do 2 rotations when we stream Salmon Run, I have to start before 8 o'clock my time. It is now 7:30 my time. We've been doing pretty alright. 7:30-ish. Don't split hairs with me. Don't you do that. Oh, we have the bind now, thank God. So, it was like 1 AM. I figured I didn't have much work to do. I just had to like download a bunch of songs, edit some audio, compress some waveforms, but not the whole thing, so that it's not like a fully compressed thing. I don't like hearing compression, and I imagine other people don't like it either. It makes you sound like a radio host, and not like, you know, just a human being recording with a microphone. Doesn't mean it's not useful. I mean, again, I went to college for this music stuff. I know a thing or two about mastering audio. Oh, please, leave me alone. All of them? 3! I can't take out 3 of them. Someone's got to get that one on the left. Alright, we're going in. Oh, that went through him. Alright, anyways. I wanted to stay up a little bit to finish it before going to sleep, yeah? And... oh, we're not gonna win this round. Oh well. Might as well do a little hustling. I'm dead. So, it was 1 AM. I figured I wouldn't have to stay up too long. I could just scroll through the audio, find the areas where the mic was too loud, add some compression, and keep moving. And then I realized that I had 3 hours of audio to go through. And the thing is, there were a couple times in the audio where, like, I messed up the take. I should have taken notes as to where exactly the take was messed up, because I had to, like, go through the 3 hours without skipping in order to find the areas where I did, like, make a mistake and have to cut it out. Because I didn't really want to edit too much for that last part. I'm sure you understand. If it's 3 hours, you don't want me heavily editing it. I'm gonna be there, like, for way more than a month this time. You know what, maybe this weapon isn't so bad in Salmon Run. It's definitely not good. But maybe it's not that bad. I guess its big issue would be that it's single target. It's basically like a 52 gal with more range and less paint, as long as you're tap shotting. And the rapid fire is pretty much useless. Anyways, so from like 1 AM to 3 or 4, I was doing the audio mastering and the cutting. No, now that I think about it, it was like 5 when I was done. And I was like, okay, I'm ready to sleep, and then I realized something. I needed background music. I needed background music for a video like this. Well, I got all my songs that I know are, like, good for this kind of thing. I have a couple playlists. Because I'm not the kind of person who's hands-off enough to just, like, look up some random's playlist on YouTube of, like, relaxing video game music or chill hop beats to lo-fi study to. I'm not that kind of guy. If I'm gonna put music in a video, it's gonna be music that I chose myself for a reason that I believe is a good one. So, you don't know how long it took me to find all the songs and edit them in? It was 5 AM when I started that bit. It was 8 AM when I was done. I was up until 8 AM because I made a bad decision. That's it. That's the bottom line. I'm gonna not do that in the future. I think the method is gonna be that I have to not make a 3-hour video again. Maybe. Maybe every once in a while a 3-hour video will just fall out of me. Hell, one of the videos that I'm working on might just end up being that long. It's, we talked about, like, paint output in the video that went up today. But... oh god. But one of the other scripts I'm working on is painting optimally with every weapon in the game. Because sometimes it's not a very intuitive thing. In fact, like, when I picked up Octobrush, I legitimately didn't know what the best way to go about doing that would be. Whew! Well, I guess I didn't hit the button in time, but we won anyways. I didn't know what the best way of doing that would be, so I watched a bunch of streams by Red Shell, who's, like, one of the only Octobrush solo mains that I know of. I just watched a bunch of his stream VODs, and I learned a couple things for that weapon, and that got me thinking. There are other weapons where this kind of stuff is, like, valuable information. I should make a video covering all of them. But that's gonna be a long one. It's gonna be a really, really long one. Unfortunately. I don't know, I hope people like long-form content. You know I do, I'm a VOD fiend. Oh, it's looking a little rough here. I'm out of ink! That was the worst! That could not have gone worse. Thank you, Leaf Slider, you saved me. Appreciate it. Anyways, that video is going to be a very, very long one to make and to watch. So keep an eye out for painting optimally with every weapon in the game. It'll be a banger once it's here. That I can say for certain. You learn a lot of this kind of stuff when you just watch people stream the game for, like, long enough. hunt for specific advice. You'll get a big, what do you call it? A big backlog of information that you want to put out there in some condensed format. And that's me with Splatoon, that's me with TF2. I have just so many scripts for those 2 games. It kind of... it's so much. It's gonna take so long for me to realize them all to fruition. It kind of blows my mind that it's like, I'm in this situation where I'm overflowing with scripts that haven't been done before. And there are people who've been doing this stuff for a while that are like, I am out of ideas, I have no more videos to make. And I guess it's just the privilege of being newer to this shit. That I've got my ideas. And there are one hell of a lot of them. Who knows, maybe I'll run out one day, but I kind of doubt it, because the rate at which I come up with these really, like... I don't know, how would I describe them? These kinds of videos, the rate at which I come up with them is, like, a constant. There's just so much that's worth saying that hasn't been said. So if you like fringe content about the niche aspect of weapons in Splatoon 3, you know, check out Mumph.inc on YouTube. There's gonna be a lot more to come. I will play this game for as long as it's the newest Splatoon. Hell, even when Splatoon 4 eventually does come out, if it does come out, I'm probably... not probably. It's very possible that I just play this game instead. You know why. I come from TF2. I like weapons that are about, like, fighting with the main weapon. This game is one of them. Splatoon 1 and 2 were not. And I don't know if I have the faith that Splatoon 4 will be. But that's what's up. Oh, we did it. Why am I not getting Koizuna? Give me the Zuna. This is a pretty good rotation for Zuna, too, I think. Yeah, if all the weapons just, like, fire at Zuna, we don't even need to, like, hunt for eggs. I think we'll be alright. You know, I'm actually, like, terrified to lean forward in my chair now. Because, like, 1 in every 10 times I do, it makes this loud clicking sound that almost peaks the mic, and it's louder than anything I can do with my voice. Hell, my voice hits a limiter. Somehow the chair breaks the limiter. I don't understand, dude. I don't know how it's possible. James is here. He's even got a star. We got Mai with a lot of spaces and Splatterer. Okay, this is a good couple of names. I'm happy. I'm hip to stay here. I'm both happy and hip, so hap is what came out of my mouth. I'm hap to stay here. New word unlocked. You know, something weird happened when we were editing the paint output video. I, like, came up with a concept halfway through the video, and I didn't stop using it for the whole time. Like, normally I come up with a concept in, like, the scripting and editing phase. But no, this time it happened, like, halfway through recording the audio. And that concept was negative paint. It's a dumb name, to be sure. That much is certain. Oh, it's bad. Oh, it's rotten here. This is not a good place to be. I'm dead. Oh no! Negative paint. I know, it's like, what could that even mean? We are in hell! What was that? What was that? That was rancid! We got locked up in snake jail. Are you kidding me? I need to save that clip. I needed it. It's mine now. Did you notice how long it took for the video to finish saving? With how much I have on this Switch, it started to be like sometimes up to a minute before it's done saving a 30-second clip, which is frightening. Oh my god. We got put into snail jail. That was horrible. Negative paint, okay. I've never had that happen to me before. I've played a lot of Salmon Run. I've never had that happen. That's a good one. So, here's the concept. The best way to prevent people from painting the map is to stop them from even being alive. So that's the kind of paint that a Slayer weapon can put out. It's paint that is negative paint for the other team. Like, you think about Trizuka. Trizuka is not a painting weapon. It's not a painting tool. But it is real good at getting negative paint. Stopping the enemies from, you know, existing and painting the map. And I think that's an important thing when it comes to tracking paint output of all the weapons. You have to keep that in mind as well. There are so many things to keep in mind. I'm really glad I made that video. I hope that, like, one day an Aerospray main watches that video and understands why I hate them so much. I don't hate them. Why I don't want them on my team so much. I hope they know. It'll teach. It'll reach. That is the hope. Ooh, this is a pretty rotten spawn. We got like a 7-12 split. Oh! Is it a 7-11 split? I think it's a 7-11 split. Sprit. Why do I keep saying sprit? Am I broken? I think it's a 7-11 split. It might be 7-12. I don't know. I haven't gone bowling in like an eternity. The brain says 7-12 split. No, the brain says 7-11 split. The heart says 7-12 split, and I'm having a tough time equating it. Wow, if I wasn't one of the best weapons in Salmon Run, I might actually be struggling. It's a good thing Wellspring is here. You know, I've been doing this thing with Wellspring where I just call it the V. Because it's the Wellspring 5 and they use a V to represent that. I just call this thing the V, and no one knows what I'm talking about. And it's not the only time that happens either. Okay. I'm leaving. I call Prodeco Prodeco, and sometimes I get, like, tilted heads at that. Like, what are you talking about? What is Prodeco? Prodeco, dude. Don't make me call it, like, Rapid Blaster Prodeco. Rapid Prodeco at best. That's Prodeco. And I'm gonna keep calling it Prodeco till the cows come home, and it's not the only weapon. There's a lot that's like that. Toothbrush. That's the one that I think surprised me the most. People don't call decaf toothbrush all that much. We call bathtub bathtub. Everyone does that, but the toothbrush is the decaf now, is the shorthand for it. I'm still surprised. I think it should be toothbrush. I think everyone should be calling it toothbrush. And I'm gonna riot about it. Oh no! Please leave. Alright, we're fine. That got a little hairy. Oh no, I didn't see that second blow until it was too late. That scared the hell out of me. We're good. Magician. Only the end is really long. Good for him. Or is it Magic Land? Can't tell. Like Magic Koopa. Like Magic Land. That's a lot of UFOs. Like, that is way too many UFOs in a very, very small space. Alright, stay here. Wonderful. Not bad. You know what I don't think I've talked about in a Salmon Run stream before? Inkjet. Because I don't really think Inkjet is too good in this mode. Like, hear me out. Because I know what it can do. We all know what it can do. It can one-shot stingers. It can two-shot Missile Man. And because it has the mobility to just, like, fly over the enemies, it can usually get into the position that it needs to be in. But it has, like, a couple drawbacks that are really, really not so great. Yeah, Violet, you and me, let's do this. Here's what I'm getting at. Say, like, say, like, your team is not doing so hot, you know? People are struggling, so there's a lot of enemies on the map, and there's maybe, like, 2 UFOs, a steelhead, a steel eel, and a scrapper. In between you and 2 missile men and a stingray. Oh no. You can't quite, like, walk up and then start your jetpack in that kind of situation. Especially if you are, you know, fighting drizzlers who have this hitbox that'll hit you no matter how high in the sky you go. This was a bad call. We got him, though. You're not gonna make it through that, like, cluster, you know? So you might find yourself popping the jetpack and not making it all the way to where you need to be. I don't know. I'm glad that it can take out those enemies, but it doesn't seem to be very consistent for it is the issue. Like, there are some situations that just kind of beat Inkjet. And there's, of course, a lot of attacks in the game that just destroy you anyways, no matter how evasive you are. It's kind of a struggler in this mode. I don't know if I'd take it over Crab, because at the very least it has like a way out. There are times when Crab is like amazing. I think Rachelski made a video on that a while ago. On how to use Crab in Salmon Run, which is a good thing to have out there because I genuinely didn't know how to use Crab in Salmon Run. I needed the help. But what it can do is pretty impressive. Like in Glowflies, you hold the left trigger, you win. Glowflies is over. Of course, it can do what the jetpack can do as well. That was me hitting left bumper to open the menu and realizing that left bumper is bound to shoot. So Crab has a bit of a get-off-me tool by just holding the left trigger. But when the enemies are, like, stronger, like, fat load of good that'll do you, you know? When you're getting swarmed by Cohawks, it's just kind of over if you've popped Crab. It can be really easy to run it down, so then, like, the issue seems to be you need to be able to reach a position where you can safely set up Crab. And that's kind of the same issue as Inkjet, where reaching that position where you can actually make use of your special is the challenge. And it, by concept, there's a good word for this. By nature, it's just not a Booyah Bomb, it's not a Wave Breaker, it's not Tri-Strikes, it's not Killer Whale, and it's not Splashdown. It's not something you get this kind of immediate and significant value out of. It's like one of the few specials in this mode that you have to like specifically set up for. Whoa. Set up for. Oh no! That's a lot of Stingray. This is not looking so hot. Can I make it out of here? Will I live? Oh, not if that's happening. Oh, someone came to help me. I didn't expect it because I'm in solo queue. Thank you. Thank you so much. Blue. Or the other guy. I don't know. I'm gonna go on a mission. We're not looking so good in terms of eggs. Oh, there's so many eggs next to the basket. What am I even doing? Beautiful. But yeah, it's definitely not the best special in the mode. It can do a lot. Crab. It's not Reef Slider, you know? It's not one that kind of struggles with every situation where enemies are not perfectly lined up. And I would probably take it over Reef Slider almost any day. But Reef Slider's instant activation and instant, like, impact, that's something to be noted. We did it. Good team. These guys are good. I think I might stick with them. They saved me. They got a bunch of eggs. If we don't get Zuna, I'm gonna stick with them because I want to get Zuna before the rotation ends. We don't have too much time. We have 14 minutes before the rotation ends. Which means we pretty much only have 2 attempts. There are 2 steelheads, aren't there? Man, why is it that, like, all these video ideas I have are such massive projects? Like, some of them are easy, like, I'm doing ranked modes for my first time. I'm gonna do a video where I go from, like, C- to B, and then from B to A, from A to S, S to X. Those would be, like, pretty simple, because it just involves me playing the game and not thinking too hard. How did that not hit you? But then there's, like, that solo queue salmon run tier list. You have no idea how empirical I'm being with that. I have to measure everything. Can the weapon, like, beat a Drizzler alone in one phase? That's a bitch of a thing to test. Let me tell you. You have to A, get the weapon in the rotation, B, find a Drizzler who's out in, like, the boonies, where no one else is going to shoot at him, so you can get your data. And then C, you have to, like, play it perfectly, so that you can actually see if it's possible. It's kind of a tough one to set up for, but I've got most of the data already. The other thing that was really tough was, fish sticks. The thing about the fish stick matchup... Okay, the way I'm doing this video for Salmon Run solo queue weapons, very specifically, it's matchups. I think matchups make the weapon in this, especially in terms of solo queue, when you could find yourself forced to take out any enemy in the game. You can't, like, leave some enemies to your teammates when you can't trust your teammates, as demonstrated by the Brella earlier in today's runs. Oh, good lord, that Brella did not understand his job when it came to glowflies. He's looking a little hairy. And the other big matchup about Fish Stick is that if you have to look up for, like, way too long and carefully, precisely hit every single fish, it's at least a good thing that you can destroy the fish stick from below. That's something. Some weapons, like Undercover, can't do it in one lap. They can hit the fish, but it'll take 2 laps of the fish. And the entire time, you are holding your aim straight up. So it's really easy to not see someone getting behind you, which is how Brellas perish. We can do this, guys. We got 3 eggs right here. I'm gonna die. Yup. I should have used Booyah Bomb. We did it anyways, though. I hear it. We have Zuna. Thank God. So, one thing I learned when trying to get the fish stick data is that if it's on, like, a slope or a slant where the fish stick lands, or somewhere where you can't stand under it, that data is not particularly useful. So that's a situational thing, being able to find this data, on top of needing every weapon in the game to show up in the rotation at some point. And then there's like little things that you end up learning, like, did you know Splooshomatic and Junior can reach from below? They can reach the fish stick if they're on the same level, height-wise. And they jump. Granted, they're still a two-shot, so it's not the most viable strategy, but it can be done. That surprised me, because there are definitely weapons that can't do that, like obviously Inkbrush, who has to go up the fish stick, which is made even more difficult by, like, how bad your paint is far away from you. You can't even paint the top of the fish stick, you have to charge up like a squid surge. It ain't easy being Inkbrush in this mode, is what I'm getting at. But yeah, I wanted to know all the matchups so I could make this video. And then I have to make graphics for them, and then I have to finish the script for them. It's gonna be a mess. It's gonna take forever. I might even split it into multiple videos, but it will be done. You better believe it. Beautiful. I got you, Blue. You're my boy. Yeah, I'll boo you to that. On spawning grounds, too. I'm happy for us. You know what would be the absolute worst? So obviously I have my ideas. And given the way I do these streams, I'm just gonna like... what's on the inside, I'm gonna put it on the outside. Wait, my squid's all messed up. I forgot. I like these eyebrows a lot, is the deal. I like them quite a lot. But... do I do this now? That's the question. I think I will. It'll be quick. I like these eyebrows, but I like the other eyes. And I also don't like the way that the male Octoling stands. It's just like, it's uncomfortable. Someone at the very beginning of the stream was like, that looks less like a squid kid and more like a doll. And he was right. I prefer this one. And so let me just like really quickly recreate my character because I know how to do it. Nope, that's not right. Funny thing about the video that came out today. I had to get a friend to do acting for me. I gave him blocking. It was great. Nice, straight up. For that video, because you can't record yourself moving around unless you have like a mod or a bunch of UI elements all over the screen. I didn't want that. I gave him blocking, and then I made him become my squid. it was great. There were two of me. There are two of him! Alright, we have the eyes and the brows. The thing is, when I use, so, you see the Mumph eyes on this channel. That's kind of my, like, my logo. Granted, it's, like, something you've seen before on every Black Mage in Final Fantasy and on every Jawa in Star Wars. It's not an uncommon trope in particular, but it's a trope that I've always loved. So I'm cannibalizing it, and it's mine now, and you can't have it. But for the different channels, I wanted to differentiate their profile pictures a little bit. The main channel and the stream channel, they all have this exact, you know, the eyes. But the VOD channel has some differences, and the Squid channel, the Splatoon channel, Mumph.inc. I wanted to do something that was like it, but very specifically Splatoon themed. And as you can see, I've got color lock on. I've had it on the whole stream, not to ruin the illusion. Oh, this guy's been getting yellow every round. What are the odds of that? No. When you have color lock on, you can't get blue in Salmon Run. That's the way it is. And that's kind of lucky because my, the color of my eyes, obviously in the profile pictures, is like a yellowish gold. So this is the closest that we have. So I decided I was just gonna like edit those eyes on a black circle and then be like, there it is. There's the picture. and I really, really liked it. But here's the thing. I also kept the eyebrows. And I liked the eyebrows too. I liked how they looked on the thing. It would have felt like wrong without the eyebrows. But those like big bushy eyebrows are only available for the male squid, which is criminal. You don't get those kinds of options on the female squid. Octoling. Octoling. So if you want like the eyes with the spikes like I got, you gotta have the smaller brows. I don't know. It's, again, it's Mumph. It's me. I split hairs over character design all the time. It's a trademark of the channel at this point. And especially when it comes to my own characters, you can bet your bottom dollar that I will be doing it constantly. Oh no. You know, there's one thing... Oh, sorry, I mentioned something earlier that I completely didn't, like, follow up on. I said, you know what would be the worst? I have all these ideas that are near and dear to my heart, and they haven't been done before, and I would love to do them. It would be, like, villainous if some other Splatoon content creator who has, like, run out of ideas watches a bit of these streams and is like, oh, there's a good idea. It's mine now. At least wait until I make the videos, you know? Like, that's my hope. It'd be really sad to me. Because the problem is, it just takes me so long to get anything done. Like, when I'm trying to stream consistently and in a way that makes me happy, every other day, for like, sometimes, as is evident by the last Pikmin stream, 9 hours. I like to stream. And sometimes focusing on a video or a script or a big project like that requires that I not do other things and dedicate like a full day to that project. Like it did last night. That worked. I actually can't believe it. Anyways, that situation. Man, I have so many of these ideas and it's gonna be years before I've finished all of them. that's the unfortunate thing. But luckily, for most of them, if they work in Splatoon 3, they can probably work in Splatoon 4 too. When Splatoon 4 comes out, I can just remake them with a different coat of paint. And obviously different information, because the games are going to be different. Hopefully not different enough that, like, main weapons are no longer your way of combat, because I really like fighting in these games. It was the reason I got the game, you know? I liked TF2 a lot, but I'd kind of played out all the weapons that I wanted to play in TF2. So I was looking for more. More! And what I found was that Splatoon is so similar to TF2. In every way except that paint is on the floor when you shoot, and you can swim in the paint. This is gonna sound like a stupid sentence. It's a Nintendo take on a movement shooter. Because especially now that you can do like this, and, you know, substrafe, and there are weapons with specific mechanics, like the toothbrush that has a charge. By the way, Demo Man main's eating real well ever since the update with Lemuria came out. They got the sticky bomb launcher in the form of Wellstring, and they got, like, the, what would you call it? Demo Man's charge? In terms of toothbrush. We're eating real well, TF2 players. There are so many things that make this game similar in many ways to TF2. Uh-oh. Banny. Speaking of TF2, it's Banny! It's Banny! Banny's here! God damn it. We need to find the shining enemy. There he is. I should have just gone crab. Oh, it would have been smart. It would have been real smart. Well, good enough. There's another concept that, like, because there are so many things in common between TF2 and Splatoon, I got a couple scripts that have something to do with that. One of which I think would be genuinely valuable information, and the other of which would just be like, Look at all these things that are just creative takes on the things that happen in TF2 that Splatoon has. Oh, this is not looking so hot, is it? I think we lose. And it's all because I didn't use the crab earlier. I blame me for that. 100%. So we have this thing in TF2 where our classes, you know them, you love them. Scout, Soldier, Pyro, Demo, NG Heavy, Sniper, Spy, and Medic. We have our classes, and sure the game sorts them into offense, defense, and support, but that doesn't really fit too well, so there are a couple different ways that we can sort our classes. Some people use a Venn diagram to talk about which ones are offense, which ones are defense, and which ones are support. Sometimes there's like just different ways to articulate that, but there's another... What am I holding? This is a bathtub. The rotation has changed. Bathtub, 52 gal, not, and Charger on Salmon Smokeyard. We get 2 awful maps today. Isn't that great? Anyways, there's another category, another way of categorizing the classes in TF2. And it's one that the devs had. It's generalists and specialists. If you don't know what that means, it's pretty literal. It's just like, the specialist classes are the ones that exist to do a very specific thing, and they're not too useful in every situation. Like the NG, who is really, really good on defense. The Heavy, who is also really, really good on defense. The Sniper, who is really, really good at just taking heads. The Spy, they're all specialists. And then you have your generalists, who are good in almost any situation. They have something that they bring to the table. And that's your Soldier, your Demo Man, your Scout. Pyro is somewhere in between. And I think Medic defies this logic entirely. Maybe he's a specialist, but he's a specialist in terms of healing, which is very important in that game. So here's what I've been thinking about. We understand pretty well the whole generalist versus specialist debate in TF2. But the more I play this game, the more it starts to dawn on me that, like, I think the same kind of principles can be applied to the weapons in Splatoon. I know, I'm just rambling about Splatoon for, like, moments on end, but you came to a Splatoon stream, you know what you're signing up for. Oh no, oh god! I'm fine. Yeah, sometimes these Splatoon streams will just be me rambling about whatever, but this time it's Splatoon themed. I don't know what the difference is. Nothing is different today other than, like, I posted a Splatoon video. That's it. Nothing else has changed. I guess I've been thinking about Splatoon so much over the last few days to get that video done. That's probably what it is. So, I'm using the 52 gal right now. This is a really good example of a generalist. I can speak. I can do it. We know this. And that's because it can, like, move around, it can do all the things it needs to do, it can kill very, very quickly, it can paint the floor really, really quickly. It's good at everything. That's the thing about 52 gal, it does it all. You have then something like the Chargers, which have a very specific game plan. Granted, I think Splatlings are somewhere in between. But Chargers exist solely to paint straight lines on the map and make enemies disappear. Roller is pretty similar. I think there's a dialogue to be had about specialists versus generalists in Splatoon. Good lord, I need to drink some water. That's what's going on. I think it'd be a fun dialogue to have. So I'm gonna write that. You can count on it. I'm stealing your egg. Nope, he got me. I can't believe that throw worked. Oh god, I should probably go crab. But he's facing the right at those two guys with the cannons, so it's not the most viable option. He's like straight up facing back. What am I supposed to do about that? I have to go crab anyways. I just inputted the one-shot for some reason. I don't know why. I've been practicing my crabs lately. Oh god. You know, at this point, that I like to watch the content. I like to watch VODs. VODs are very good for me because they make great background noise, but I also like to watch more direction-heavy videos. Videos with a focus. More edited, more, you know, having something very specific to say. I watch pretty much anything of value that I can find about Splatoon on YouTube. Granted, the community is very small, and it's only kind of dwindled in the last year or so. So finding those videos has been like a slim thing. There's not a lot of people making Splatoon videos right now, unfortunately. It's not gonna stop me, but... what am I getting at? I watched a video once. I know that was the next thought, but I don't know where the rest of it was. Oh yeah! There's a top player. At least I think he's a top player. How can he not be? Shadowwind. He's gotta be a top player. See, I don't know the... there's not like a ranking like there was in Smash. And there's not like too many teams that win everything. And Moonlight, while they're a really good team, they play second a lot. Which is actually kind of a feat. It's the, it's that Five Gods stuff from Melee. Oh, wow, that worked? Okay. Like, the Five Gods, if they weren't winning the tournament, they were placing third or second. They weren't placing below that. So that's a feat. That's, oh, am I bad at the game? My wash? It's impressive that Moonlight has managed to consistently place so high, and they do win every once in a while, too. So they're up there. So I'm gonna call them a top player whether you like it or not. Shadowwind. He made a video explaining the Crab Tank one-shot combo. And it was a pretty good video for a lot of things. But I used it to try learning how to do the one-shot, and I gotta say, I think he might have botched the explanation of the timing of the inputs. I think that might be the one thing that isn't done well in that video. And that's the one thing I needed to learn, man. I figured it out after a bunch of testing, though. He definitely gave us the framework for that, so it's something. Subscribe to Shadowwind. Good stuff. He posts a lot of fun stuff. If you like Tent, you'll like his stuff. And of course, Tournament. The reason why I'm more familiar with Moonlight as a team than I am with most other teams is that, like, what did I just say? Like, I watch a lot of Splatoon content on the YouTube. I don't need the bind anymore, do I? That's good. I watch a lot of Splatoon content. So, if people are posting things, I'm gonna watch. And Moonlight, half of them are consistently creating stuff. The other half, every once in a while, create things. That's great. That's what I want. I want more stuff to consume. Consume content. It's always really nice to have something like a VOD to be good background noise that you don't have to focus on, but if you do want to focus, there's something going on. That's always a good thing. We talk about that a lot. But sometimes you're just really in the mood for something with a bit of direction. And VODs are aimless. Other than, like, the aim of, you know, playing the video game good, beating the video game, doing whatever the game that's being played demands. Oh no, I'm stuck on a wall. Nautilus, you need to be over here. It's fine. I'm already doing that thing again where I'm giving direction to people that can't hear me. I'm leaving. They're not gonna make it. They made it. I'll be damned. We're abandoning them. Oh god. I'm abandoning him. Wait, what? It gave me the glowflies and then they disappeared. There we go. This is what I should have done last time. I should have just rolled around. I might use both. I'm thinking about it. I'm doing it. I am ye of little faith right now. I'll do whatever it takes, if it means we can win this wave. It's better than me doing what I've been doing pretty much all day today, which is just not using my specials at all until the game is over. Might as well get some value out of this crab thing that I've been stapled to. That's not good. I'm doing it. Oh! It worked! I can't believe that worked. I'm so glad that somebody painted this. I really am. Not again! No! Trixie hobbitses. You know, there's one thing that I have to seriously consider. We have all these different channels for all these different things. If you like VODs and you want more of me, go to the Mumph.VOD channel. I got a bunch of them. If you like Splatoon content, I got a Splatoon channel. Working on that one. TF2, the same. And then the main channel for like more pointed and general script. I like to put them in different places, but here's the thing. I am playing Dark Souls Seamless Co-op with my best friend right now, offline. But for whatever reason, I recorded. I just decided I was gonna hit record, and I wasn't really planning on posting it anywhere. And then something happened involving the Moonlight Butterfly and clipping through the map. And now I feel like I'd be like a little wasteful if I didn't do something with that footage. So here's the dilemma. Do I edit that down? Which I had to edit it down because we were just relaxing. We weren't... And that's the weakness of having to aim up at the fish stick. Now you know. Sometimes the shark will come out from below you and you don't even know unless you were listening very closely, and I don't have very good headphones right now. But, regardless, I'm dead. I'm not dead. I'm dead. Regardless. If I were to trim that up and make a VOD out of it, some sort of edited offline VOD, where do I put that? I'm not gonna do like the Germa second thing and have a channel specifically dedicated to trimmed down VODs. And I think that's more of a personal preference. It's not that I like discount people who like that kind of content. It's just that I don't care for that kind of content myself. Like, if I want to see stream highlights, I'm just gonna watch the stream, you know? But for something like this Dark Souls thing, I gotta figure something out with it. And a part of me wants to put it on the main channel, another part says put it on the VOD channel. I'll have to make up my mind on that. I don't think I need a 5th channel. That's the issue. I don't want to do that. Because there's a funny limitation. Oh, you're gonna love hearing about this. This is so dumb. I've got 4 different channels. This is true. Because I don't want to post content, like... I don't want to post 50 Splatoon videos on the channel where all my VODs are, which is also the channel where my 50 TF2 videos are, which is also the channel where my 50 videos about, like, Xenoblade and other things are. I don't want to put that on the same channel. It would just kind of be a mess. You don't click on a channel for, like, that kind of purpose. If you're clicking on a channel because you want Splatoon stuff, and then, like, the last 20 videos that are posted are not Splatoon stuff, that's not a very fun thing to happen. So... Uh-oh. We're good. We're not good. Oh god! I'm alive. I'm not alive. This is the theme of today, is I'm alive, I'm not alive. Live alive. Thank you, Jet. Oh no, we tried. We hustled. So here's the thing I'm getting at. I made 2 channels to start with. And that's the main channel, and the VOD channel. And I went to post the thumbnail, and YouTube said, you can't post a thumbnail unless you verify your phone number with us. Which is always great to be giving out personal information to a company like Google. That's always a good thing. Never leads to any negatives, ever. It's always good. Prove me wrong, you know? Come up with one time that Google has ever done something against the interests of everyone else. I'm inputting the bind command. I have to push in the left stick when I have the bind on to open the menu. I forgot I turned the bind off. Anyways, so I put my phone number in. I did it again for a different channel, because I'm not gonna just, like, post a video that I worked hard on, or even a stream VOD, and give it, like, a generic... The thumbnail is found from a random second of the footage. I'm gonna clean that up a little bit, you know? I take a lot of pride in the thumbnails I make. It's a fun thing to do, I'm not gonna lie to you. I actually, like, genuinely enjoy it. It's not something I expected, but making thumbnails for VODs, it's a blast. It really is just like, sometimes you get a really dumb idea, and you can bring it to life. So, I make thumbnails, yes? And today, I went to post the Splatoon video, and I needed a thumbnail. And this was the first video I posted on the Splatoon channel, so I was like, what's gonna happen here? Am I just gonna be able to make the thumbnail? Nope, YouTube forbids me from doing so. Unless, of course, I give my phone number. So I'm thinking, you know what, yeah, that's fine, sure, YouTube's been doing this, you already have my phone number, but you can have it again. And do you know what it said? This phone number is registered to too many accounts. And by too many accounts, it means 2 accounts. So everyone out there with 3 accounts have gone through this little struggle where they've had to come up with a new way to fill that requirement. And I'm pretty sure there's some workaround. I'm gonna have to look into it. But instead, I asked a family member. I was like, hey, please, can I, like, use your phone number for this? I know you don't, like, do anything with YouTube. They're not gonna, like, text you or anything. They're not gonna dox you. It's Google, they already have your phone number. And they were cool with it. So I got to, like, post the thumbnail before going live today. But still, I am not too happy about that. I'm gonna have to, once the stream ends, I'm looking into workaround, because I would really prefer not to force anyone to sign up for this kind of shit. And there's a non-zero chance that I actually have 5 channels. Okay, what do I mean by that? I have 4 channels that I actually use for posting things, and I use that term loosely, considering, like, 2 of them are still blank, and are just a bunch of script piling up. But, here's the deal. I have those other 2 channels that... Okay, 2 of them are blank, the other 2 are the VOD channel and the Splatoon channel, yeah? I have another channel that I use for just offline watching things, and this is the channel that I pay for YouTube Premium with, which is, I know, awful investment, but I watch YouTube on mobile devices, so I'm not... It's not the easiest to put, like, an ad block on a mobile device, much less get it to actually work and function consistently. I struggle with that, so... To keep it all simple, one of the 2 things that I pay for on a monthly basis that aren't, like, living necessities, like rent and food. One of the 2 things is YouTube Premium. The other one is Spotify. I went to college for music, dude. You gotta understand. I love me some music, and I gotta have all of it at my fingertips. I wouldn't have it any other way. This is not looking so hot. I want to try strike, but there's no one I can strike without, you know, getting killed. Why are you... Oh, God. Perish. Goodbye, Snake. Goodbye, Snake. I'm dead. God damn it. Why? Sorry, that wasn't me saying Mai at the team, because we have Mai again, and I love Mai. I love Mai. Good work, Mai. You're my favorite. You're my favorite. This is not looking so hot. I died to a steelhead? How? I'm actually, like, impressed. The hustle's not gonna be enough, is it? Nope. No worries. But that's my story. I should end more stories with, but that's my story. It's an awful little stinger. We're not doing so hot, are we? Didn't we start at like 300 EVP? Yeah, we did. I'm starting to think Smokeyard might be even worse than I'm giving it credit for. My order has been, like, spawning grounds are the worst. There's just no, like... It's really difficult to argue that spawning grounds are not the worst. But... Marooner's Bay is what's usually second for me, because it's just the most claustrophobic map the game has on offer. What if Smokeyard is actually the second worst? It's hard to imagine that this map is worse than Marooner's Bay. It's genuinely tough to imagine that. But what if, you know? So something, like, really, really scary. And by really, really scary, I mean, like, not actually that scary, but, like, it shook me to my core nonetheless. Happened in the Kirby and the Amazing Mirror stream we did 2 days ago. Suddenly, out of nowhere, after, like, 3 hours of just, like, fine streaming, no issues, I started dropping frames at an absurd pace. And this is not something that's been happening for me, because, like, A, my hardware is up to snuff. I don't have to worry about, like, the hardware being the issue. My settings are also, like, pretty finely honed. I can't think of anything better to do with my settings to make drop frames happen even less, which is good, because they haven't been happening. But during the Kirby Air Ride stream... Fuck, I said it again. During the Kirby and the Amazing Mirror screen... Oh... Falling apart. Chat, forgive me. Falling apart. During the Kirby and the Amazing Mirror screen, suddenly we started dropping frames. And we did not stop for like 2 minutes. And in 2 minutes, do you want to know how many frames were dropped? 27,000. How does that even happen? 27,000? And this is capturing the Elgato, so there's no, like, work being done on my computer to run the games. And that has me thinking, like, maybe the Elgato was the cause. But then, my local recording did not drop frames. And my Wi-Fi, I checked immediately during that process, and the Wi-Fi was fine. Still getting, you know, 40 megabytes of upload, which is not great. And fiber might be around the corner. But still, that is not a normal thing to happen. 3 hours of perfectly fine, no-issue streaming, and then you drop 27,000 frames, and then the stream is normal again for the rest of the stream? That is incredibly abnormal behavior by OBS. And in today's stream, this is what's making me think about this. In today's stream alone, there seems to have been a burst where we dropped 900 frames. I don't know when it happened, and it only seems to be, like, visible on the Twitch end. But no one wants to see dropped frames, you know? I don't want to make anyone see dropped frames. It's ugly stuff. So I live in fear again. When something happens for no reason, and goes away for no reason too, you just feel, like, hopeless, you know? There's no way this thing will ever be solved. I'm just, like, stuck with dropped frames for eternity. That is what shook me to my core. I hate that shit. Usually when this kind of stuff happens, I can figure out why it happened, but this is just like... There is no reason. I can't reach him, can I? Nope. Oh, who are you? Am I dead? No, I'm fine. That situation is not looking too hot. If we hustle, we can do this. We can totally get this. Oh, this scrapper! He actually ruined it for everybody. It's over. I can't believe that. I thought I'd locked him down. We were one away. That was so sad. So anyways, to bookend that, I'm sorry about the dropped frames. I don't know why they're happening. I genuinely don't. It's like... It's so frustrating. It's driving me insane, dude. It keeps me up at night. At the very least, the VOD channel will not have any dropped frames. Somehow. Oh, it's the little headaches streaming gives you. It's the little frustration headaches that really get you. On one hand, like, I genuinely enjoy the act of being live, speaking into a microphone, interacting with chat room, just doing things, you know? On stream. I don't hate it. I have a pretty good time, in fact. But it's the non-active streaming stuff. It's the passive stuff. So the active stuff I would say is like the act of streaming and like engaging with what you're doing in the moment in the stream. I actually have a really, really good time with that, and it's a thing I look forward to every time I'm doing it. But the passive stuff that you have to set up before the stream, sometimes it's easy. Sometimes it can even be a creative outlet. Like, you have an idea for the next stream and you want to, like, set it up beforehand. That can be great. Other times, it is a headache maker. Something will just not work, and there will be no apparent reason why. And do you want to know what will fix the problem? Uninstall, reinstall, input every single setting you've already got. You better take some notes before you uninstall. I hate when that's the solution to a problem like this. Genuinely, it's awful. I learned something. Oh god. I wasn't happy with something in that video I posted today. I wasn't happy with, the way some things were animating, because for some reason, again, I use DaVinci Resolve, the only free video editor that I can find that's worth a damn right now, and I would love to switch because I don't trust it anymore, after what it did to me. So, I made a simple animation for that video. Early on, I had, like, some images start off screen. Oh, that was awful. And then move from off-screen to on-screen, then off again. And every time it came, you know, came time to render that for DaVinci Resolve, the thing fucking crashed. Every time, without fail. And apparently this is a problem that other people had as well. But not specifically with the image. Just with random things that would happen. With DaVinci, it'll just, like, give up. Error code 5. This code doesn't mean anything, but, you're getting it. You want it? It's yours, my friend. Error code 5. Your editor no longer works. So, the only way I could get around it was by rendering. I guess, it wasn't quite pre-rendering, but it was something very much like pre-rendering, called rendering through cache. C-A-C-H-E cache. Not like through money, which is the worst kind of rendering, by the way. Not rendering through cache, which is pretty bad. But having to, like, spend money to render, that's terrifying. I hate that is even a concept that I've discovered today. Rendering through cache. But rendering through cache, the real render, it changed the frame rate of everything it rendered from 60 to 24. So suddenly, at the end of this like long process of like 7 hours of editing together a 7-minute video with some edits that were important to me that I like learned how to do and got done, suddenly my beautiful video became 24 FPS and then DaVinci Resolve crashed. So I could no longer, you know, Control-Z undo that shit. So I ended up re-editing the thing, but now that I knew all the tricks, it didn't take nearly as long. But every time I re-edited it, and I tried making it 60 FPS, when it came time to move an image from off-screen onto the screen and then off the screen the other way again, the render would crash every single time. And I found out how to get around this. Alright, here's the deal. I'm a TF2 player. I know SFM. I don't know it too well, but I know of it, and I know about some of the things it can do and how it goes about doing it. Keyframes. I know what keyframes are, okay? Keyframes are really, really useful. Because you can say, on this frame of the animation, I want you to be right here, and in a couple frames, I want you to be over here. And it'll just kind of figure out what happens in between. So if it's a simple thing, like I want you between two places, in the time between those two keyframes realizing themselves, becoming self-aware, in the time between those keyframes coming to life. Am I dead? I'm leaving. Your character will just kind of move in between those things, the thing you've edited. Because it'll... what's the word? It starts with an I. Infer. It'll infer where it'll be in between those 2 points. So keyframes, they're really, really useful. And Resolve has keyframes. So I used Resolve's keyframe system to move my images from off-screen to on-screen to off-screen. Screen again? How'd this guy get his basket back? How'd you do that? I'm staying here. This is my home now. Oh, this ain't looking so hot. No! Oh well. Anyways, I found the fix. If you ever have this issue, you're editing something in Resolve, and like, every time you put a keyframe and you change the position of an object, and suddenly the thing just stopped responding, gives you error code 5, and then none of your buttons work anymore, here's what you do. You go into Effects, and you apply the transformation effect, and then you put in the exact same settings that you put in before, and it actually works for no reason whatsoever, for no reason. It just works this time. So if you put it in natively without that effect, it doesn't work. If you put it in with the effect, it works. Why? I don't know. I don't know, dude. Why make a program like this? You gave me the options to do it without the effect, and then the option just breaks my program? What was the point of giving me the option? Oh, it was frustrating. You have no idea how many hours I spent trying to figure out what the hell to do. I think it's a grand total of 8. 7 hours to edit the video together, 8 hours to figure out what makes the thing actually work at 60 FPS. And then maybe like another 2 hours to re-edit the video because the 24 FPS one was irrevocably set to 24 FPS. This shit is a process. Genuinely, like, props to editors, you know? Good for them for being able to stick out this kind of nonsense. We don't do a lot of... Is it object damage that damages that specifically? I don't know. We don't do a lot of damage with the knot to, the shields. How much damage per shot do you do with the knot? I love Splatlings and Salmon Run, by the way. Not to completely jump topics, but I'm gonna. I just love it, like, you can mow down a whole group without even tripping, you know? Don't even trip. They're great in glowflies, they're great in cohawks, they're great in swarms, they're great when things are like getting really rough, you know? No, you will not board the UFO, you will die to the fish. I forbid it. I'm dead now. I got what I deserved. Karma. Oh, Mecha Wolf. Good try. I've been there. We did it. We finally, after so long, beat Wave 1. Oh no. Oh, it's not so good, is it? Oh, sorry about that. I was drinking water. You wanna know something pretty funny? For a while. Oh god. For the last couple of streams, every once in a while, someone has come into my chat, for one reason or another, asking, like, do you have Discord? I'd like a place to, like, to chat and things, or I'd like to show off my art. In case you ever need an artist. How about I send it to your Discord? Ever since the news broke that Discord is now being run by an ex-Activision CEO instead of the guy who's been running it for 10 years, and that same guy, former CEO of Activision, is shifting to an advertising and monetization-focused platform, ever since that news broke, I have not gotten a single person asking, can you have a Discord? Can you do things with Discord? I haven't had a single person asking that. It's actually, like, marvelous. I had no intention of ever doing a Discord. I made that really clear from the get-go. But, like, that's the thing about streaming. If you're gonna do a bunch of streams, you gotta be, like, at the very least, comfortable repeating yourself every once in a while. Because not everyone is gonna see everything that happens in your stream. Some people are gonna join halfway through, some people are gonna, like, join for the first time, and they're not gonna know anything about how you do things. So I gotta extend the benefit of the doubt whenever someone asks a question I answer, and that's fine with me. I don't mind repeating myself. Hell, if no one asked anything, I sometimes even repeat myself. So, if you guys don't mind that, then I don't mind the reverse. Anyways, it makes me feel really good that, like... I mean, it doesn't make me feel strictly good that Discord is dying and that we can't use Discord anymore, because it's gonna be like dog shit very soon. They're gonna start, like, stripping features and then making you pay for the features that you already have right now, that are free. Suddenly that's gonna be, like, Nitro only. There's gonna be ads all over the place. Hell, I already, like... I was using Discord 2 days ago. I got an Overwatch ad. It's already begun. The beginning of the end. I was here at the beginning. And I will proclaim the end. Discord is over. Discord is over. Sorry, awful bit. I couldn't help myself. I said Discord is over, and then something, like, came over me. John Lennon possessed me from the grave. You know, there's something, like, kind of bizarre about the Beatle. The Beatle plural. The plural Beatle. I was not a Beatles fan growing up, because I was like, oh no, I'm dead. No, I'm fine, great. I was, like, raised to be very, very Christian, so the only music I was, like, allowed to listen to was on my local Christian radio station. I thought that was music. Later in life did I discover that, like, oh no, it's maybe not doing all the things that music can do. Especially now that I've got, like, a music degree, I can say, like, there's music out there that really utilizes the format of music And most, like, worship music is not quite doing that. It's fine, it's not for that. Worship music that does utilize music as a format, that's a good concept, and I hope one day I hear that kind of shit. Not that I'd listen to it, but that I know it exists is enough for me, you know? What am I doing? Oh. So, what I was getting at is, it took me a long time to, like, change my tastes. It's been a long and arduous process that I talk about every once in a while. We started with Christian music, we got into, like, comedy, joke music. Then we got into shitpost music. No, then it was video game music, then shitpost music, like Silvagunner and Flintstones. I found out why I thought Silvagunner was actually Siva Gunner, like S-I-I. And that's because Silvagunner had an account on SoundCloud, and that account got banned, and then they became Sivagunner on SoundCloud. And that was where I found most of my musical shitposts. Because posting them to YouTube just didn't work, for copyright-related reasons, that you won't be surprised to hear. Oh! Oh, that was real cheeky. You gotta pick me up, I just realized. I got strikes. You gotta pick me up. We can do this! Oh, we're going for it. We're just smacking him a bunch. We did it! We did it! Oh my god, that was unbelievably close. Good work, Fajis. Yeah, you know. You know how to nod. Phagis. How do you pronounce this guy's name? Anyways, back to the music thing. We were into, like, shitpost music, and then we got really into jazz. Like, really into jazz. That was the focus when I was studying music at college. That was my focus, was jazz studies. That was what I did. Because I think jazz utilizes the concept of changing chords in a way that's more deft than other music. And as a result of the way it does that, is that, like, it gives any given musician the opportunity to explore those chords on their own terms. And to use them to make a solo that, like, works with those chords in a way that's novel. Different songs provide different things for that. There's so much that jazz does that I just adore. But that's not the topic at hand. Eventually, I started listening to rock stuff, and here's the deal. I hadn't gotten too into rock stuff because when I look up rock music, it's, it usually ends up being like Queen, or AC/DC, or, Aerosmith. And that's not the kind of music that I particularly, like, really enjoy. There are times when I want to listen to a Queen song, and there are some Queen songs that I'm always in the mood for, like Innuendo. But when I wasn't too familiar with the band, and I was looking into rock music, I was seeing, like, We Will Rock You and another one, Bite the Dust, and those are fine songs, it's just they're not, like, too musically deft, you know? They don't do too many interesting things in the format of music. They're just good forms for Freddie Mercury to do his thing on. And good lord, do we love it. Do we love when Freddie Mercury does his thing. But, eventually, I won't lie to you, I watched JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and I saw the way that the stands, you know me, you know my character design affinity, I saw the way that the stands were designed to emulate the aesthetics of whatever music they were based on. Uh-oh. And I thought that was so cool that I didn't feel... Oh no, am I dead? Yeah. I didn't feel good being left out of the loop on what those songs were and what the characterization was supposed to represent. So I ended up looking up a bunch of music as a result of that, and my tastes changed wildly. suddenly, I started listening to a ton of different music. I got to a point where I can listen to almost any artist. Oh. As long as the music does something with the format of music. And by that I mean, like, just because it's a song doesn't mean it's utilizing the format of a song well. Just that it is a song. I'm dead. That was horrible. So I'm a little picky still, but I can listen to anything in any genre and typically find something to enjoy. Presently, Bowie is my #1. Then Beatles, then Steely Dan. And the reason I got into this topic is that when I went like way in on listening to the Beatles, I learned something. I didn't contribute very much, I was just dead over and over again. Bad positioning plays by me. So I learned something. I learned that there's a lot of songs that you just hear often, and they're actually Beatles songs. Most of them were like solo works. The ones that come to mind, I was singing War Is Over. That's a John Lennon song. Like, I didn't know that at first, genuinely. And then there's Paul McCartney, not to just do Christmas songs. Wonderful Christmas Time. You know that one. The moon is bright. The one that goes, simply having... That song? Wonderful Christmas Time. That was Paul McCartney. And it turns out there are a lot of songs that are just kind of normal music that you hear a lot throughout life that you wouldn't expect to be a Beatles song, and they actually are. So one of the things that I'm just doing, because I listen to a lot of the Beatles, I do. They're just, it's good music. And the way I like to listen to music now is I listen to a whole album, start to finish. Because that's like, when an artist was making music, they kind of made that to be the format that the songs were first listened to in. And some albums tell a story like all the way through in a very cohesive way that you don't quite get when you just listen to your favorite song on the album over and over again. Like, my example that I always use for this is The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust by David Bowie. It's an album full of good songs, like jam-packed with them. But if you're just listening to Starman, sure, Starman's alright, it's not a bad song, but when it's taken as a part of the whole that is The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust, it's kind of the climax of the album, in some ways. Not the climax of the album. It's one of the strongest parts of the album. And it fits the mood really well, it fits the style really well, it does everything you could possibly ask for a song on that album to do. It's a great album, and frankly, with that album, a good, like, 90% of those songs are so good that they work on their own. There's, like, maybe one song in that album that I'm not the biggest fan of. Let me just look real quick. Because all I remember are the good ones right now. You know what? I take it back. They're all good. They're actually genuinely all good. There's only one that's, like, kind of a skip, because it doesn't really do too much, and that's Hang On To Yourself. Although I still do like a lot of what Hang On To Yourself does. Anyways, the format of listening to an album straight down is kind of a lost thing that isn't done so much anymore, because in today's culture, successful music is successful like one hit, you know? Successful singles. The album itself does not, like, tends to get as much attention on the whole, you know, the thing as a whole. Am I dead? Nice, I'm glad we made that jump. So I quite like listening to an album down. And I got into this because the Beatles do that phenomenally. Almost every Beatles album is like nothing but net, straight down. Magical Mystery Tour is the one that I would point to. Because there are, I'll admit, there are a few Beatles albums where there's like a skip or two. Abbey Road, some people skip Maxwell's Silver Hammer. Not me, I don't hate that tune, but I can see why it's a skip for some people. Uh-oh. The White Album? Rocky Raccoon, I think is the name of the song that I skip every single time. And then, isn't there Revolution number 9 on that same album? Number 9? Number 9? Number 9? Yeah, that's a skip for me. I'm not gonna listen to that whole thing. I get it, it's avant-garde, it's... The entire purpose of the piece is to get you to be like, what the fuck am I listening to? This is on a Beatles album? And it's just a song with nothing going on where someone says number 9 over and over again. That's the point of the piece. It's to make you, like, question your own, like, what's the word? Conception of what music is and needs to be. Luckily, when I do question myself on those things, I start to, like, I come to the conclusion that number 9, Revolution number 9, is not a very good song. Which is why it's really good that another John Lennon song that I actually love is called Number 9 Dream. The really cool thing about the Beatles is that everyone but, like, Ringo had a solo career where all of the albums are just incredible. Okay, maybe not all of them, but most of them. And John Lennon is my favorite of the lot of them. I listen to all of his solo albums regularly. It's made a little easier by the fact that there are only like 5 of them. Although that doesn't make me feel too good, you know? I wish there was more. But that being said, I still love those songs and those albums, and they play so well straight down. If you've never listened to a John Lennon album, but you've listened to a lot of the Beatles, start at the beginning. Plastic Ono Band. It's a really good one. It's got a lot to say with its music. And just go forward from there. You really can't go wrong with Lennon's solo works. That was unfortunate. There wasn't much we could do. We were being chased all over the place. I will admit, though, there's like one album that's a little bit more of a miss in terms of Lennon's solo stuff. We'll get off this topic soon. Thanks for indulging me. He has like a... What would you even call it? It's a rock and roll album? Technically? Blues, maybe? What would you call it? I'm gonna look it up. No, it's literally called rock and roll. And granted that Beatles music is, at least in today's world, old school. This was old school for the time, kind of rock and roll. Like Elvis and blues, that kind of stuff. And there's not a lot that the album does that I particularly, like, really dig. But the rest of his albums always have some things on them that I keep coming back to. But enough about that. We're playing Splatoon. It's good music, check it out. That makes a good transition. Splatoon music. I like the Salmon music. I do. But it's... You know the adage about Splatoon's music. It's really good music for the game Splatoon, but taken outside of the game Splatoon, it's not the best experience to listen to. Not to, like, knock on it. Hell, in that video I just posted, I used a lot of Splatoon music. Not a lot. I used, like, 2 songs. And believe me, I was like... It was a stretch to find even 2 songs that were, like, sort of relaxing and fitting of the format I was going for with the video. We do have a 4th man. I was wondering where he was. What do you want, Nutmeg? What's wrong? What is it? You just walked in here screaming your head off. He just wants pets. Okay. Good. Good for you. So I like this song a lot. It's the one that gets, like, an extra note added every time it does the round. It's a good one. But the music is very thematic of Salmon Run, and specifically Salmon music. The Salmon had made this music. Salmonids. They made this music. It's Salmon music. The thing about Splatoon music that really bothers me has nothing to do with how it's written. Because I, like, given how much I love albums and many, many artists that make full album experiences, the theming of Splatoon's music is on point. That every song is made by an in-universe canon band with its own album cover, and some songs are on the same album cover. I think that is, like, incredible world building. I think it's great. You didn't have to do that. Did you really just do that? That was awesome. I liked that. Good tactics. Oh no, I scared him. Scared him off. What have I done? This guy's nodding too. These guys are great. I gotta remember not to leave. I thought that name was TF2, but it's actually Tiz. Or T12. I can't tell. One of my favorite names that I will see in various video games, especially in TF2 where you can change your nickname whenever you want with no penalty. God's Strongest Warrior. I think that's a fun one. It's a good bit. You never know if they mean it or not. You know what? I started talking about it. I like the theming of Splatoon's music. Here's the thing I don't like about it. You can't turn it off. And don't get me wrong, if I'm playing the game, if I'm streaming the game, I'm not gonna turn off Splatoon's music. It's good. It fits the experience that is Splatoon. I'm dead. Oh, it's not looking so hot right now. Oh, it's really not looking so hot. No, no, don't just scream. I'm already losing. Stop it. I'm grabbing you. I'm gonna throw the run. I'm doing it. I gave her a little smooch. It's okay. We're good. We're back in the fight. We won, right? Yeah! Wow, these guys clutched the fuck up. Alright, here's what I was saying. Getting at. Dodging around. You can't turn off the music. And that's a bad thing specifically for content creation. You know exactly why. I'm not the first place you've heard this, probably, if you watch more Splatoon content than, like, random Twitch streams. Uh-oh. My bomb went flying. But the thing is, sometimes you really want the sound effect of Splatoon, but you don't want the music of Splatoon. What are your options then? You wanna know? Recon mode. You know what that means, right? In a real game of Splatoon, where people are trying and you're recording footage, you will not be able to turn off the music unless you mod your game. It would be so nice for videos where you're trying to discuss very specific points using gameplay examples, which is something that you kind of need to do when you're trying to articulate a very specific thing about the way the game plays. It's kind of important. You kind of just can't. You have to mute the game audio entirely. You get no sounds. You better pick a good song because that's all they're gonna hear. That has caused no end of frustration to so many Splatoobers. I'm dead. I'm not dead. By the way, I love that. I love that, in certain communities, their YouTubers have a nickname. Like, oh no, the label for a YouTuber in the Splatoon community is a Splatuber. That's great. In TF2, we call them TF-tubers. It's great. I love that kind of stuff. Pokemon doesn't really have one that works that well. I mean, you can say PokeTuber, but something about it just feels wrong. I don't like it. Man, I've been in a lot of video game communities over the years. It's a shame that we don't have like a Smash tuber name. We have a lot of Smash tubers. That's for sure. But calling them Smash tubers makes it sound like they're Smash players at a water park. Which is actually a tournament series that is called Smash and Splash, where you also get Splatoon! It rhymes like poetry. I can't get rid of this fish stick. I hope someone does it for me. Oh, that was really unfortunate. Sometimes Killer Whale does not do what you want it to. Yeah, this is a pretty good comp for, fighting the Boris. It's a shame it's on this map where, like, half the time he's, you know, in no man's land, way over there. Huh. That's not good. We're in this. We're gonna die to that big bomb. Oh, we did good damage, though. Good team. I like these guys. It was a good hustle. I have so many scales. Like, genuinely an absurd amount. What am I gonna do with these? I have no plans. I have no scale plans. They're just gonna rot in my inventory for all of time. There's nothing else I want to buy. Except maybe like a shirt for 800 bronze scales? I don't know. I don't even know if that would be like what I'm after. I left the group. I'm a fool. Oh, that hurts. Oh, that hurts so much. I'm gonna miss those guys. Oh, they were so funny. They were the funniest guys we ever had. They were the key to all of this, and we just let it go. Oh. Is that 2 Star Wars references in, like, 2 minutes? That's not good. That's not good. I would never have paid for either of those games. So I guess it's good that they're free for a couple days. Not that I'm gonna spend much time with them. In fact, I booted up Jedi Power Battles and I played it for 5 minutes and I was like, okay, I'm done. I don't need any more of this. No thanks. Sure, I'll booyah. Why not? Sometimes evil player is my MO, and I can't booyah back. Other times I just don't care. I'll do it. These guys are excited. Let them be that way. Audi and Andrus? Audi and Andrus. I don't know how to pronounce his name. It's a cool name. It's one I've never heard before. And if it's actually like a popular name in certain cultures, good. It's a good one. Andros. It's not Andros. Oh, they're passing me around. Oh, good. Let's see, do I have any more things that I would like to say? I don't think so, and usually that's the tell that I could stop streaming soon. But I don't feel done streaming today, you know? It's a feel thing. How many shots is this guy gonna take? I guess his, I guess he heals damage from his shield if you don't attack him for long enough, which is not a good thing for chargers, is it? I'll have to keep that in mind for the solo queue Salmon run tier list. Oh no, what a bad time. What a terrible night to have a curse. That's not gonna work out, is it? He's Ouroborosing! He's Ouroborosing! Run! You know, it's kind of weird. I have a list of maybe like 10 or 20 games that I could stream next. And still, I'm having a tough time finding the perfect fit, you know? I would like to do Dark Souls very soon. Them's the breaks. We know this. Thing is, I'm already playing Dark Souls co-op with my best friend. I'm not gonna run 2 characters at once. That's just too much to keep track of. For me, when I'm already, like, doing all these other things that need my attention. That's too much for me. Did it really? Wow. I didn't think that was gonna direct me. And now there are 2 of them. Thank you for the bomb. Let me make up for my mistakes. Beautiful. There are 2 more of them! Why? What was the point? That's so uncool, dude. He made it away. Okay, as long as we didn't waste the entire special, I'm okay. That was a very unfortunate showing of the Kraken. That's the thing. I mentioned how Kraken is, like... Actually, no, I think it's the one special in Salmon Run that I didn't mention earlier when I was talking about the specials. It's good that you can become invincible for a while. That's great for some things, like getting a bunch of eggs into the basket when the basket's a very busy place. It's really good for that. But what it can do outside of just, like, being an invincible hitbox for a while is very limited. So it makes me very happy that you can, like, you know, do your big jump move and destroy a missile man from the inside. I like that. I think that's very cool. It's just a little unfortunate that if the missile man's too high up, you just can't do it. You know, it's kind of weird. I don't know if I've ever, like, fully acknowledged this. But I call a lot of things by the wrong names. That I have acknowledged. And it's not something I plan on changing because it makes me laugh when I call something by a name that I think is fitting but not the correct name. It makes me happy. It was not the intent to start calling Flyfish Missile Man and start calling Big Shot Big Cannon Man. I didn't approach that with the intent of doing that. But here we are. I think it's because I was playing with someone who's, like, kind of new to the game, and they were having a tough time knowing the enemy names, right off rip. So some of them just kind of earned their own names. This guy's UFO. The Steel Eel is Snake. Names that are just, like, very immediately clear what they are. It's very important for, like, multiplayer callouts when you need someone to do something. Like, say I have a worthless special and my friend has strikes. Please no. Oh god! Did you see that? Did I just use the momentum of the platform to go crazy far? This was a bad idea. Wow, it's a mess there, isn't it? I didn't know you could do that in this game. Convert your horizontal momentum on a platform into jumping momentum. That's pretty cool. You know what? I just realized. The title of the stream is a Beatles reference. I was talking about the Beatles earlier and it completely slipped my mind that the title of the stream was See How They Run. It was that the whole time. How did I not know this? God damn it. You and me, Adi. Let's do this. You know, speaking of Audi, you know what that makes me think of. It's cars, obviously. Because there's an Audi car brand. I guess not obviously, because I don't talk about cars ever. Because it's not something I have, like, an interest in to almost any degree. When I was in elementary school, and all my friend group was, like, really into cars, we'd be stuck at school once school ended waiting for our parents to get off of work. And there was a fence by the road, and all of my friends, all they wanted to do was just sit there and watch the cars. And when they saw a really cool car, they would kind of pop off. Like they saw, like, a Lambo. They would start jumping and hollering and shouting. And 1 or 2 times, the guy that was in the fancy car would come out and, like, wave and do a bow or something. Fucking insanely bizarre. But my friends were, like, in love with that kind of shit as an elementary schooler. And I was just sitting there with a notebook, drawing while they were doing that. Because I could not be bothered with cars. I just could not care any less. And I got my own from a family friend. They gave me a good deal on an Audi a while ago. And this car, this is gonna sound really out of pocket, okay? The person whose car this was, family friend, was an ex-CIA agent. And this character had, like, pimped out the car with fantastic speakers, with just, like, maximum comfortability. And I loved this car, not because it was fast, I didn't care about that. Not because it looked good, it didn't look too good. I didn't like it for any of those things. I liked it for the comfy seats and the loud music. And by loud music, I mean loud enough for me to hear the things I want to hear. That's it. I don't care about making music too loud. So I did go through a phase when I started, like, working in schools that I think was a little bit to do with how, like, dead inside working in, like, a preschool made me feel. Where I would just drive fast on the highway with the windows down and the music blaring. Being a little miserable does weird things to your brain. But, this Audi had the most comfortable chairs. And so when it came time to get a new car, that was my priority. That whatever car I get is comfortable to be in. But then money enters the picture. And so, the car I have now, it ain't all that comfortable. So I don't spend a lot of time in the car anymore. That's the bottom line. I don't know how this happened. I went from not caring about cars whatsoever to only caring about how comfortable the chairs are. That was our arc when it comes to interest in vehicles. Okay, maybe not vehicles on the whole. I find some vehicles very inherently interesting. But that's just kind of a thing of, like, human history and human ingenuity. Like, how the fuck did we manage to make this kind of thing? I think it's an interesting thing to think about. With some of the more convoluted vehicles around there. Whose idea was a helicopter? That's all I'm saying. How did it work? How did they make it work? That's crazy. No, dude. Here's the plan. I got a fan. It's a real big fan. And you know how fans blow air? Well, check this out. What if the real big fan moved real big fast and pointed down, so it blew air downwards? What if that made it fly? He would be laughed out of the room in a heartbeat, and it worked anyways. Like, how did we invent helicopters? Genius. I did my job. I got a lot of value out of that Kraken. What was that, like a Stingray? A Steelhead? 2 missile men? We got a lot of value out of that. You know, let me think about something. I have played a lot of Salmon Run over the year. Year, maybe plural, maybe not. I actually don't know anymore. It might have been a while. I want to check what my job stats are. Does it not show me on that menu? Oh well, we'll have to open it up afterwards. I opened up the mobile app. I wanted to know. I did. There's the brakes. One thing I can tell you is how many enemies I've splatted. I have that screen on. With how much I play this game, and how much I, like, prefer shark wrangling to anything else in the game, you would think that I've got, like, 10,000 sharks slain. I don't think it's even 5,000. If I'm remembering correctly. I think it's, like, I'm at either 3 or 4. I'd be lucky if it was 4, in fact. I think it's 3. At most. Oh, that's unfortunate. Well, we got a job to do. This is our home now. I'm dead. I can't believe that guy snuck up. Wow, my maws are at 4,092. We just broke 4,000. It is mind-blowing to me. How some people have gold badges from multiple boss salmonids. Cephalorock, that guy. We'll talk about him later as well because I have a bone to pick with him. Like I mentioned last stream, I didn't get to it. He has a gold big cannon man badge. And that guy does not spawn particularly often. I cannot imagine how much salmon run you have to play. Did you read that? That said thank you for head, right? Okay, just checking. Yeah, that said thank you for head. God damn it. Well, I didn't have any ideas for the thumbnail for the VOD channel, so I guess I do now. Yippee. I do like splash tags on the whole. I like how creative some people get with them. I think it's a really good concept. I hope it comes back to some capacity in S4 when we do get it. But the thing I hope for the most is this. I want to get the Explosher tag. I want it now. Gimme. Make it, like, possible for me to do that, please, without having to gamble for, like, years and never get what I'm after. I have more than half of the weapons in the game. The title that says blank user, NZAP user, NZAP89 user. I have all of them. But I can't get Explo. And it's driving me insane. I main Explo and Splatlings. This is true. I have Splatling user. I could be Splatling using Explo user. That would be sublime. It's what I want. Give me Explo user. Give me now. I hate how difficult it is to get the thing that represents what you actually do, and I wish it was accomplished through a milestone instead, and I'm not the first person to think that, either. Wouldn't it be nice? If your title could actually tell people something about what you've done in the game, like your badges do. On one hand, an S4 would be pretty cool, yeah. I'm still in the camp that would prefer an S3 Deluxe, because I don't trust Easy. I don't trust them to, make a game again. Wow, that got me? Where the fighting is the focus? I don't trust that. So yeah, I would quite like a Deluxe. For a couple reasons. Third kits would be sublime. But more than any of that, I would like a 6-star badge. Because what typically happens when someone gets a weapon to 5-star is they just stop using the weapon so that they can focus on their badge. At least outside of tournament. When they're in tournament, they gotta use their weapon, obviously. But I think it would be really cool if there was like... So check it out. The 5-star badges, they have the weapon regularly rendered and behind it is like a gold splat, you know? What if the weapon was gold? And that was your 6-star badge. It's so easy to do. They already, like, have a filter for that they use for, like, the other badges, like Flyfish and everything. It'd be so simple. It'd be so cool, too. Maybe they don't want to do it because they're worried about the if everything's the same color, it won't be so easy to tell what weapon people have there. Like if someone has the S-Blast 91, and you looked at it, and it was gold, you might just find yourself thinking they'd 6-starred the S-Blast 92. Unless you put a little symbol on the thing that says 91, which you could do. You already do that with most of these. Please just do that. I would love an actual gold badge. That would give me more inspiration to continue playing the Explo. The unfortunate reality is, I'm a Turf War player. I play a lot more Turf War than I do Ranked right now. I'd like to change that one of these days. Hopefully sooner than later. But here's the deal. When you play Ranked, you gain one hell of a lot more weapon EXP than you do Turf War. I've got maybe 700 wins in Turf War with Explo. I don't know if it's my highest win rate weapon, but it's... I mean, in solo queue Turf War, obviously, being an Explo where your teammate isn't helping you is a recipe for pain. Being a backline that kind of demands a little bit of help from your teammates, that's gonna be painful no matter how you look at it. I'm gonna die. Haha! Now I'm definitely gonna die if I stay there. Anyways, I am like just shy of reaching 5 stars on CXplo, and I don't want to stop using CXplo. That'd make me so sad. VXplo is still cool. I'll enjoy using it, but I won't feel like I'm getting the practice that I would be at the weapon that I consider my main that way. Them's the breaks. You gain EXP a lot faster from the ranked modes. Here's the breaks. If your win rate is like average, you can 5-star a weapon after 450 wins in ranked. It takes between 700 and 800 for Turf War. I don't know if that's worth knowing, but it's a novel thought to me to think of that. Because you really do not earn a lot of weapon EXP from Turf War. You really don't. We doing Ouroboros? Nope, that's a double snake Ouroboros. They're eating each other. Yeah, I contributed. That's for sure. Alright, Shark, come on. We're going on a journey. It's like 5 feet to the left. We're going on a journey. Here we go. Oh, no! That was rough. Terrible time for the curse. Terrible time to need to drink water. Am I gonna die now? I would like to not. Well, normally it's I'm gonna die now. It's not am I gonna die now. Am I pessimist? Have I truly become monster? Oh, we can do this. We can 100% do this. Beautiful. I'm happy. I'm happy for this team. Way to go. Damn it, my zone's cheese was too late. I'm surprised I didn't die. I thought I was gonna drown. That was my goal. Damn it. I haven't been doing a lot of, jump off into water this stream. I don't know if I'm changing as a player. Or I'm just, like, unwilling to bother myself with doing that. I don't know. I will say though, this rotation's kinda getting played out for me. At least it's not a particularly bad one. You know, it's weird. Having the 3 god tier weapons on... what was that map? Spawning grounds? I think I'd actually prefer that to this, you know? To like a couple mid to high tiers on Smokeyard. I think I'd prefer the better weapons. I don't know what that says about me. I don't know what that says about the maps. Who knows what that says? I don't know what that says. Oh man, you know what would be really cool? Check it out. Imagine a Salmon Run event where subs are either randomized between all your teammates or randomized to specifically be all the same per event or per like run. Like say you queue in and everyone has ink mines for a round. Of course you would have to get rid of Flyfish. Missile Man. You'd have to get rid of Flyfish. And maybe Moz as well. Maybe not. You can probably still get away with beating Moz. But I think that would be really, really fun. Just imagine, like, mines everywhere. That was not good. Let's not even bother. Please? Thank God. Oh man, I was not expecting it to work out. But I think that would be quite a cool little event. Salmon Run needs more events. I guess it's worth saying, because there are people who only play Salmon Run and don't do a lot of the, actual PvP modes. Why can't I pick up that egg? What happened? Was that the forbidden egg? What happened? I ended up taking too long because I kept going back for the egg that was just not working. That was so sad. Do it. I dare you. But yeah, I think that'd be very funny. Suction bombs one day. Torpedoes another. Torpedo run would be awesome. That'd be so cool. Oh, that would be so much fun. Autobomb would probably not be very fun, though. You'd have to, of course, like, limit things, like, you can't bring beacons, obviously. Imagine if you could pick your own sub. There's so much potential to this. Granted, it might be a little too different from base Salmon Run for the devs to be willing to do it. There are so many opportunities for the future of Splatoon. So many. Thank you. Oh, it's Andrus again! Thank you, Andrus. Why did I bother doing this? This was not the best idea. Oh god. Oh, thank god we jumped the rope. Yeah, once I start doing ranked modes, I will be streaming them. So we'll finally have more, non-Salmon Run streams that aren't just Splatfest. So far, those are the only ones that I've done in Splatoon that are not Salmon Run streams. Which probably says a lot about me as a Splatoon player. I would like to change. I'm open to change. Oh, I can't believe I didn't hit. That's so unfortunate. This is looking a little rough. Oh no. Well, that guy. Poor guy. He's gone now. I think we've hit that point. This is a point we hit towards the end of every stream. Where I run out of things to say. And I just start voicing what's on the inside of my brain, on the outside, and those thoughts are just like me reacting to whatever's going on in the game. That's a sign I need to wrap up soon. Still streaming. I want to make this a 3-hour VOD. I know, it's a stupid thing to do. I don't know what is wrong with me, in that, like, I like my VODs to be closer to the hour mark than not. Like, if I'm ending a VOD, I like to say, like, I'll stream at least this long. That'll do me good. Or I'll say I'll have to, I'll aim for closer to this hour mark. And sometimes that means I stream longer than I intend to. But I will say, I've never regretted streaming longer than I intended to, so it's never come back to bite me yet. Who knows if that'll be the case forever. Although, I will say, the Pikmin stream, the Pikmin 2 stream that went on for 9 hours, I was feeling it by the end. I was feeling how long I had been streaming. I'm dead. It was impacting me very, very seriously. I was still having fun the whole time, but my goal was to beat the entire game. And I was one cave before the end, but it was the boss rush cave. And that boss rush cave, oh my god, it's awful. I had to come back a different day. It took me like 3 hours. 2 to get through the cave, and then 1 to just like mess around in challenge mode. So I've regretted... We're fine. I've regretted not streaming for long enough because I didn't get to finish the thing I was hoping to finish. I've never regretted streaming for too long. I should probably have focused on eggs? I don't know what I was doing. I went into like massive autopilot. Don't even ask what was up with the pronunciation of massive just now. Don't even ask. So many things happened at once in my brain, and what came out was massive. Man, every time I see the title, Lady Madonna starts playing in my head. That's, that's unexpected side effect. You know what? I have a topic. We've talked about music a lot this stream. I have a topic. And it's music related. It's also Smash related. I have played every single Smash game when it was the newest Smash game out. When I was like incredibly young, I was playing Smash 64 like a daycare. And then Melee came out, and we started bringing Melee to the daycare. They had Smash 64 at the daycare, so I didn't have to like buy it myself. And my friends were always there, so every summer I would play a lot of 64. And then one summer we all got GameCubes, and we started bringing those and playing a lot of Melee. And then Brawl came out, and by that point I was too old for any, like, summer camps like that. So, the end. But that's not what this is about. I haven't played Brawl in a good decade. I did go through a phase when I was getting really, really into Melee that, like... I started enjoying some of the things that were possible in Brawl, like, Meta Knight and chain grabbing. It's unfortunate how they're balanced to be, like, busted. Nothing is, like, fair in Brawl. The tier list is a straight line, but that's not what this is about. I revisited Brawl a little bit. And I had a realization. In Smash 4, in Smash Ultimate, the one thing I always avoid is listening to the music remixes. Always. I hate that shit. And I couldn't really put my finger on why. I'm totally dead. On why it was that all these remixes were bothering me. I think I figured it out. So every remix in like Smash 4 and Smash Ultimate, they're called remixes. And that should tell you everything you need to know about the philosophy the composers had going into writing them. The goal of any remix, 90% of the time, it's to take what already exists and put it in a new setting. And that doesn't always, like, mean a bad thing. But in Smash, especially in, like, Ultimate and 4's case, a remix... Uh-oh. He's not gonna make it, is he? He made it. A remix means they're gonna take the melody and a couple motifs and then give them some generic backtrack that has nothing to do with the rest of the song. And in doing so, they kind of lose what made the original songs special. I can think of maybe one time that happened with Melee. And that would be Onet. The whole Onet, like, remix in Melee, I'm not the biggest fan of it because I like the actual Onet theme and what it does. And the remix in Melee has nothing to do with actual Onet. He hit me out of the sky. That was a crazy, crazy hit. What a monster. Anyways, so there's a difference between a remix and a rearrangement. An arrangement is when you take different instruments and you reorganize the notes and the themes and the motifs and everything into a new package. It's very similar to a remix, but the philosophy going into writing it seems to be completely different, especially in the case of Smash Brothers. Liv, good job. Proud of you. Because in Smash, these remixes, man, they just bother me because they seem to completely miss what made the original special outright. And don't get me wrong, making a twist on something that already works is an acceptable thing to do. I wouldn't be such a fan of like a Bridge series otherwise. But here's what I'm getting at. Brawl. The thing I somehow just failed to even notice is that Brawl's approach to remixing is not remixing, it's rearranging. It's giving clever spins on a song while respecting what made the original so good. Sticker Brush Symphony is the go-to. It's the easy, like, obvious one, because it's nothing like the original Sticker Brush Symphony, but it captures the exact same, like, feeling outside of the, what would you call it? Not the pace of the music, but the, energy level of the music is more fitting to the Smash theme. And just having the right energy level does not make a remix good. It has to do some very specific things to earn that credit. Uh-oh. I'm going on a trip. Here I go. You like the low FPS Grizzler over there? He was looking good. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Sticker Brush Symphony. Animal Crossing's title theme. I was just listening to the entire Brawl soundtrack, and I was really impressed by just how many rearrangements were incredibly competent and added something to the song that they were, you know, rearranging. I think that soundtrack was really, really good. And I think, looking back, it seems that the philosophy of these rearrangements in the later games has completely changed. And I don't like where it's at. I really do not like the arrangements that we get in modern Smash. When it says remix next to a song, I skip. I go into the settings and I make it so that song never pops up again. Because, I mean, when I listen to one, I just get upset. I get upset for the thing that's being, like, spoofed. Because it really does feel like a spoof when they completely ignore what actually made the song work. These are the thoughts that keep me up at night. If Brawl did nothing else right, it was the soundtrack and the single player. You can't contest that those were, like, potentially even the best they've been in the series. I would honestly say that the best they've been in the series. And that's like knowing very, very well what else there is. I do think the existence of Subspace Emissary, in the way it is made, I think it beats having Board the Platforms and Targets in 64. I think it beats having Targets, All-Star, Events, and, Adventure Mode in Melee. But that's a close one, because I love Adventure Mode in Melee. Those other modes are pretty cool, too. I forget, Brawl also has events. And it does have a classic mode too, but... Classic mode has never been all that, like, interesting. It's just kind of a thing you can do when you're solo. And of course this is ignoring the, like, Fighting Polygon Team! And Cruel Smash. Ignoring those, because those are, like, fully fleshed side modes. Fully fleshed? That's not the right term. They're exceedingly simple. They're just the side thing, like... They give you the entire concept in the title. You know what you're getting into. You click Cruel Smash, the smash is gonna be cruel. The smash is already cruel, Sakurai. I've been playing your level 9 AIs for as long as they've been around. There is already some fucking nonsense. I'm so sorry. I almost got you killed. Let's leave. Go together. I love how, like, it's even possible that someone can hear me saying that and be like, ha! Get good! Level 9 AIs are easy. Yeah, they're easy. I didn't say they weren't. I just said they were bullshit. To win against a level 9 AI, you have to exploit its programming. You can't just play Smash like you would against a person. Because if you have a move that comes out on frame 2, they will react to you pushing the button on frame 1, and they will be shielding on frame 2. And they will not be shielding on frame 3, which means they've just perfect shielded every single attack you've thrown at them that isn't a frame 1 jab. That is not, you know, it's not particularly fun or interesting. And it's not difficult to exploit that and play the game in a specific way. But it's still bullshit. That's the bottom line here. And that's been the case for every single Smash game. Perfect shields, yes. Parries in Smash Ultimate, yes. Air dodges and the rest. You get some real nonsense. If you have a juggle and it's not a frame-perfect juggle, like you're playing a mix-up character, you're not gonna be comboing level 9 AIs. It's just not how the game works. It's programmed otherwise. But to be fair, that's how AIs are in fighting games in general. They're not programmed to be fair. Because, like, the strength of a fighting game is not the AIs, it's the people. It's the fighting with the people, you know? But sometimes I just want to play a game by myself, damn it. I just want to, like, mess around and explore my options. Let me have fun. No. I played so much Melee. Genuinely. And in order to make the game feel like fun to practice on my own, I did what everyone does. I downloaded 20XX. Because then the AIs start acting like at least a little bit closer to how you'd expect a person to play the game. I showed a little bit of the 20XX AI last stream. I could show it now. I suppose there's no real reason why not to. Jabubnub. Is that his name? No, it's Shibanub. Shibanub, Sodium, and Itty Bitty. I like this. I like these names. Good work. Splatooners. Good work. I like this song again. It's a creative little song, and it fits the theme of being Salmon music. Which is all you can really ask for when it comes to a soundtrack like this. You get two choices, huh? You could be squid music, or you could be salmon music. What's it gonna be, huh? Huh? Squid? Squid. Or salmon? Salmon. Slowly, like, animates Mumph becoming a salmonid. You see the letter? Have I truly become monster? I've been watching a lot of Grinch's Ultimatum lately, can you tell? It's like, it's maybe the second time I brought it up on this stream alone. That video, I don't know why I like it so much, frankly. Something about it, it just captures a feeling. Through, like, some of the worst art you've ever seen, and some really, like, intentionally subpar animation. But I don't think even really good animation and artistry would have captured the feeling as well as Grinch's Ultimatum did. If you don't know what Grinch's Ultimatum is, look it up. You'll enjoy. You'll have a good time. That much I can tell you. It's a good little vid. You know, there's something I've never talked about before. I mentioned that I've been using YouTube for a long time. When I got into YouTube on the whole, like using it, not like posting on it, but just like using the platform, the most popular things on the platform were Fred and the Annoying Orange. I have seen shit. I have seen the rise and fall of empires. I was there at the beginning, and I will proclaim the end. It's kind of weird to me that YouTube just doesn't seem to die, no matter how corporate it gets. That was a sick little tech moment. There have been so many things on this platform. It's always been, oh, missed the button. It's always been a good thing to come to, because there's always, like, new people making new things. And the stuff is, more often than not... maybe not so in today's world. More often than not, it's done for the joy of creating, rather than for the, desperation to get that bag. But I feel like ever since, Mr. Bean blew up on YouTube... No, wait. Yes, Mr. Bean, but also Mr. Beast. In fact, I think one was a little more significant to that conversation than the other. Ever since Mr. Bean blew up on YouTube, I feel like a lot of the soul is just gone from the things that you will see. You have to... The thing about using YouTube nowadays, you can't just go into your recommendeds and find a bunch of really good stuff. If you're willing to, like, sort through the shit, you might find a good thing or two. You might find a new channel you haven't seen before. You might find some good stuff. But I think if you're gonna use YouTube today, you have to know what you're looking for before going in, or you risk becoming victim to YouTube itself. Because YouTube is gonna put a bunch of videos in the recommended tab. And it's not because it thinks you will enjoy those videos. It's because it wants you to see them. It's because algorithmically, these are the things the AI believes you should be seeing. And there's a couple reasons it might have for that. We're gonna die, Sodium. Me and you. We made it. Sometimes it might be for retention. Like, this is a video that most people who've clicked on ended up watching a bunch of and couldn't click off. Even if it's like brain rot garbage content that doesn't provide anything to you, or to you whatsoever. That's just the way this works right now. It just works. Please. I am so glad we survived. So if you're going to be using YouTube for your recommended, you have to develop kind of an eye for what is the platform trying to shove down my throat, and what is actually a thing I might like. Because those do not tend to overlap. There are more insidious reasons why something might pop up in your recommended. It's... oh, we lost. We tried. But you really have to know. Which, obviously, if people are using YouTube strictly to watch things that they already know exist before, like, actually clicking on the platform, you know that's gonna be bad for discoverability. I don't think there's a platform alive right now that's good for discoverability. But you gotta do it. You gotta do something, you know? If you want to do something, you better do it in spite of the lack of discoverability. It's important. Never do anything, you won't make it anywhere. At least if your goal is to make things on the wonderful platform of YouTube. I definitely think, like, some of the best things I've ever seen have been things I've stumbled into on YouTube that I never would have tried looking up beforehand. A lot of things were also recommended, like, not in the recommended tab, but I mean recommended by real human people like my friends. I wouldn't have watched Lazy Purple's TF2 videos if a friend hadn't shown me how it feels to play NG. Because the second I saw that video, I was hooked, and I watched them all. And then every time he posted a new one, I was there waiting for it. Like, I think word of mouth might be the next big thing when it comes to finding actual worthwhile things to watch. The society really does go in circles, doesn't it? However, the Sonic fan dub, I don't think I ever would have seen if I hadn't been, like, fiending the recommendeds a good 5 years ago. And it's only devolved since then, the recommendeds. I don't know, man. It's a weird platform here. Here, we're on Twitch right now. Unless you're watching this in the future. Then, what the fuck was that noise that just came out of my mouth? Oh my god. Alright, here's the deal. We're gonna fight Boris. We're gonna fight Horus Boris. And then I'll show some clips and then I'll end the stream. Because I have clips to show this time. I've started remembering what it is that I want to talk about, so I move the clip on my Switch to somewhere that I'll be able to reach it. You know what? So my thumbnail for the Splatoon channel. I like to put the eyes that I use, but I like to make them do something. So I take a lot of pictures of my character in, like, a position that makes their eyes do something very specific. That will then be really good for the thumbnail. Here's the deal. Did you know? Your character can emote in recon mode if you buy a Splatoon amiibo. I have never had the want to buy a Splatoon amiibo. I don't want a Splatoon amiibo, in fact. I would like nothing to do with that. Money on plastic that's just gonna sit there in the corner? Okay. No, I don't want that. But I want to be able to emote for those thumbnails. So I'm at a bit of a dilemma right now. I have a friend who spent like $8 on the small fry emote a while ago. I might ask him if I can borrow it. Because... it's a little stupid, the kind of stuff they lock behind emotes in this game. You only get 5 precious bits behind emotes. Behind... Amiibos. You only get 5 precious bits. You touch an amiibo, specifically a Splatoon amiibo. None of your other stuff works. You touch a Splatoon amiibo, you get to, save 5 more precious fits. It's still not enough precious fits, so I'm not even gonna bother. I'm just gonna do what I already do, which is save a bunch of photos. Oh, it's looking a little rough. I'm gonna go over there and save that guy. And probably do more things, too. That went pretty well. Oh, and of course another stinger shows up, just in time. I need to leave. This is not a good space to be in. Cammy, let's go. Oh, it's looking a little rough. I don't know that this team has what it takes to get out of this position. Especially considering this is the 3rd time I've seen one player left in the last, like, 20 seconds. I got hit by a missile that touched the ground when I was in midair. I'm telling you, Inkjet really struggles. It really, really struggles. There was something I was talking about and I just completely abandoned it, and I've lost it. It's gone. The brain hath left.
So I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna play 1, maybe 2 more rounds. See if we can get this Boris guy to show up. Then I'm gonna end the stream. Okay? That's the plan.
I want Boris. I miss Boris. Boris is good. I'm in the orb. I didn't know you could be in the orb. Oh, I guess you have to have one on your back to be in the orb. Welcome to the orb. Wait a minute, I don't have to get really close. I can just do this. Wow, that is like mighty cursed, isn't it? That's mighty cursed. Good lord. More thumbnail material. The more the merrier. Alright, who's here? Do I know these people? We got Boofy, we got Momo, and we got... Oi. No, wait, that's not a name. That's a flexing emoticon. That's a good one. I like that. I might use that, genuinely. I'm gonna, in fact, I'm gonna get real close and screenshot him. I'm gonna use that for later. Today's thumbnail will be a romp. I never thought I'd enjoy making thumbnails so much. It's one of the, like, the things I just did not expect about creating content. That, like, making thumbnails is actually kind of a blast. Granted, with how many YouTubers are out there that, like, just get someone else to do it for them, I guess that was the expectation, that it just became kind of a frustrating thing to do. But god damn it, that's fun. It's art. It's like a little piece of the whole that is your video. And to have someone else be responsible for my piece of a thing that I'm taking like full credit for, something about that wouldn't feel right. It wouldn't feel very personal, the things I make. Not to like shit on people with editors, because obviously there are some creators out there who create so much stuff that it's unfeasible to imagine that they would make thumbnails for every single thing. We're gonna make it. That was a nice throw. I have to undo that. All better. There you go, Momo. Momo. Wait a minute. Momo was here. I didn't even piece together that's an Avatar of the Last Airbender character. I need to drink water. After a while, if I haven't drank, I just lose the ability to speak properly. And our pronunciations begin slumming it. Yeah, you got that. Man, it's kind of bugging me that I can't remember what I was talking about, like, a couple minutes ago. I don't feel like I finished the thought I was on. Ooh! That was a cool little wave jump scare. Who's dead? Snake, it was Boofy! Boofy! Sorry, let me think. What is it I want to stream next? That's bad. I've got a couple plans, obviously. Every once in a while when we do a Splatoon stream, I like to go over my plan for the next game to play. Because the Splatoon streams will always be here. They're really easy to just, like, zone out and think about other things during. And I've mentioned that I'm gonna do Dark Souls pretty soon. And I think I mentioned once that now that I'm playing it with my friend, best friend even, that I'm planning on doing an intelligence build, because I'm doing a faith build in our little co-op run right now. We can do this. Hustle. Glorious. Good hustle. So we're gonna do an intelligence build for Dark Souls 1. I don't know how interesting that'll be. There are so many different ways to play that game. It really is kind of crazy. You can come back to it pretty much every time and try something new. Even if you're doing a build that's similar, you can just use completely different weapons. And there are so many options in terms of weapons in that game, and most of them have completely different kits. Not quite like they do in 2 and 3, where the kits really are entirely unique to the weapon, for the most part. But here's the deal. I've been thinking about the other Dark Souls games too. Oh no! What kind of build I will use. And I think I've come to some conclusion. I don't know about Dark Souls 3's build. I don't know what that'll be, because there are so many options. I cannot believe I am still alive. But in Dark Souls 2, I already know what I'm gonna do. We're gonna use a Hex build. Because it wasn't in 1, and it's a little bit less interesting in 3. In fact, I don't even know if hexes are in 3, I just don't remember them being notable. Maybe they're not there. Maybe I'm talking about my ass. Talking about my ass? Talking out my ass. Maybe I'm talking about my ass this whole time. Hope that works out. It didn't work. It accomplished very little. But hexes in Dark Souls 2 are really interesting. And I'll tell you exactly why I think that is. So, in Dark Souls 1... Oh, we're gonna lose, aren't we? I can contribute! It's the best I got. Alright, we'll try one last run. And then I gotta dip. The thing about Dark Souls 1, you don't need any intelligence or faith investment to use pyromancy. You just need to invest souls in the weapon itself. So builds that are like entirely strength or dex based, they can get a lot done with just slapping pyromancy on there. Because having a ranged option is always better than not, and in Dark Souls 1, bows and crossbows are kinda rough. They're not amazing. They're alright. They can be used to some success. We've been using them in our current run, just to experiment. But the thing is, the other magics. Obviously... What's it called? Oh, we've been streaming this rotation for 2 hours. I didn't even notice. Obviously, intelligence is for regular magic, and faith is for miracles in those games. Obviously. But when Dark Souls 2 rolled around, they did some really interesting things. Pyromancy is no longer tied to, like, no stat. Your pyromancies get more powerful, and they're based on your intelligence or your faith, whichever one is higher. And that's an interesting way to do that. But here's the thing I'm getting at. Hexes, in Dark Souls 2, are based on your intelligence and faith, whichever one is the lowest. Lowest pops up on the screen. I think that's very, very interesting, because you have to invest into both. And you know why it's interesting. It's just a really interesting thing to put into the game. You have to invest into both now if you want good hexes, and I think that would be really cool, be really fun for a run. So we're gonna do it. One of these days. Once I get, like, Scholar of the First Sin on sale, if it ever goes on sale, ever again, on PC. I mean, I do have it on Xbox. But I don't want to plug in the Xbox ever again, if I can help it. I don't like that thing. And plus, I mean, who wants to watch a 360 version of a game that barely runs at 30? That can run at 60 on the PC. Actually, now that I think about it, when I played Dark Souls 2, it was on the 360, obviously, like I'm saying. But I remember it running at a clean 60 for pretty much the entire time, unlike Dark Souls 1, which was a bit of a struggle in certain areas. But I remember Dark Souls 2 running really, really well. Was it, like, just amazingly optimized for the PC? I mean, for the 360? It's possible. We'll see. I'll have to look into it. There is one barrier that's keeping me from that. I mentioned a while ago that 5 years ago, all of my consoles disappeared. All my Xboxes, all my Nintendo stuff, the Wii U, the Wii, the GameCube, it was all gone. Disappeared, vanished. I thought my family had, like, sold it in an effort to get me to stop playing video games, which is a great thing to do to someone who is in their mid-20s. Surely this will work. Not cool. There's nothing more to say about that. But here's the deal. I found everything. I found my 6 GameCube controllers. I found both Nintendo Wiis. I found the Wii U. I found 2 Xbox 360s, the original Xbox, the Xbox One. I've got it all. But for one thing. I have no 360 controllers anymore. I don't know how this happened. I had like 6 of them. Because we would use them on the PC for, like gang beasts and shit. Local co-op when I was in college in my college house. Local co-op? Local PvP. Co-op gang beasts. So I don't know what happened to the 360 controllers. So unless Dark Souls 2 is backwards compatible for Xbox One, I'm probably not going to be able to play it. Without buying the game again on the PC. Which I'm sure you can understand in today's economy is not a good prospect. One thing I will say, I got a music degree. It didn't do me a lot of good, unfortunately. You might be shocked to hear that. What? A degree in music? Didn't amount to much? Granted, it's not the biggest degree. So, I'm actually thinking about going back to school. Thinking about it. Might do. Dude, he did shoot. It was just latency. It was just Japanese ping, is what that was. This is not looking so hot. I can't swim. My, like, left pinky toe is touching enemy ink. I can't swim. Wow. That's not good. Thank you for the blue bomb. We can do this. Oh, we can totally do this! I don't know how that happened. That was bizarre. We won, though. Genuinely, I made it out of the shark's range. He pulled me in so hard that I went right through him, which is how you know you were technically out of his range. But he pulled me into a bomb. Were they working together? That's insane. Anyways, it might shock you to know that my interests are not entirely localized in the realm of music and video games. I have other things that I would love to explore, and we might be doing that soon. Who knows? There's a funny thing about music. I don't know if I've told this lovely little anecdote before. The guy that taught me most of what I knew when I was studying music in college had a DMA in jazz studies. If you don't know what a DMA is, it's basically just a different flavor of doctorate. It's a doctorate by a different name, is the entirety of it. In some instances it might be more competitive than a doctorate, it might be less. It depends on where it's gotten from. But this guy, that doesn't change the fact that he had a DMA in jazz studies. He knew the trade front and back. He was a trombonist who could play piano, who could play bass, and do it all at performance level. One hell of a musician. Do you want to know what he's doing now? He's a lawyer. Music does not pay. No matter how advanced your degree is, the best you can hope for is education. This is not looking so hot. Oh no. Oh, Xiang, Come on, you gotta save it. You gotta clutch. You gotta clutch up. I missed! No! Is it because I missed that one that we just lost? Oh, we hustled. We really, really hustled. But it didn't really matter. Oh well. That's enough salmon run for me. I have done this into the ground today. Music doesn't pay. It's the book. It's the book end of that story. The best you can hope for as a musician, besides like getting a teaching gig, is getting a gig that pays your bills so you can make music. That's just kind of the musician's struggle. But forget about that. Let's jingle some keys. I have once again hit that point where I don't think we're going to be finding anything that I keep in terms of gear. I've got pretty much everything I could possibly want. I did just see a luchador mask that had special power, special charge up, and I realized that I was wrong. I could definitely have used that, but I was mashing A too fast to realize it. Oh well. Ooh. Oh. I'll do it for the chunks, it's fine. Yeah, nothing of value here. Besides the chunks. Obviously chunks are good. Always good to have a bunch of chunks. Look at all the swim speed we're getting today. I'm really low on special fill right now, so that's the thing I'm like hungry for the most, but swim speed's always good to have. Speak of the devil. And he shall appear. You know what? What's in the shop that I could get? I still don't have 800 bronze. I'm getting up there in terms of gold scales. How much do you need? 333? Yeah. And then there's this thing for 999 silver, which I might just get because I have no use for anything I can get with silver right now. None of it. I could get one of these. I don't care for that. Maybe this. Maybe. But that's it. I got a couple clips to show. I've been talking for a while about how something that Cephalorock did a while ago was driving me insane. I would like to show it. So, before I click on this, just know that I know that what he's doing was for a good cause, but this was not the only time that he did this. It wasn't just for charity events that he would use what he's using here to really bother me. Check it out. There are two of him! And at least the art is different art. Check it out. That's number 2381. This is number 7070. He's posting on multiple accounts. And it doesn't end at 2. And there's his main. So here's the deal. That was driving me insane, because that was at a time where, like, the Splatnet 2, whatever you want to call it, was really struggling to show different artists, and I just kind of wanted to see funny posts by different people. But every time I went out there was like 2 Cephalorocks standing there showcasing his latest art. It's like, dude, if I wanted to see that, I would be like following you on Twitter. Please, please just let me enjoy what I'm looking at. Alright, here's what I'll leave you with. What would you do if one day you left the house and the world looked like this? Because I'll tell you what I would do. I would look around, and then I would do this. I would just leave. I would get out of there. Because Splatoon has taught me that solves your problems. Check it out. The world has been cured. Maybe, like, a Bailet was activated and someone, like, summoned an eclipse. The eclipse ended. Maybe. Has the stream been zoomed in this whole time? Oh, that's gonna frustrate me. I clicked fit to screen. Apparently that was a bad idea. Oh well. That's enough for today. Thanks for coming by. I'm gonna get in the egg. How do I do that? What weapons do I need? I need to go to the box. And get the knot. I'm gonna get in the egg. Alright. Hey there. Thanks for coming to the stream. Everyone who came by, thanks for watching. It's appreciated. Very much appreciated. Appreciated. I hope you have a good one. Be well. Take care of yourself. And I hope I see you next time. We'll be streaming probably more Kirby Air Ride. Fuck. Probably more Kirby in the Amazing Mirror. I don't know why I keep calling it Kirby Air Ride. It's driving me insane. Anyways, take it easy. I'm gonna dip. I'm out of here. Be well. Bye.